mic one.
Hello, your talkback सुनियो.
Game day one. Can you hear us on mic one?
Your talkback सुनियो यो. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello.
Okay, mic check, mic one. Mic one.
Now I'd like to request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem of Nepal. अब म क्रिकेट एसोसिएसन अफ नेपालका उपाध्यक्ष
And a warm welcome along to... We are speaking. So a very good afternoon and a warm welcome along. I am talking on the microphone, you're not hearing me. So the final formalities of what is a historic day, the match ball being handed over by Roshan Kumar Singh and Padam Bahadur Khadka. You see the match officials there. Durga Subedi and Vinay Kumar Jha will be the two standing today. And you're very welcome along to today's coverage. It's a historic tour, this, the Dish Home Fibernet Ireland Wolves Tour of Nepal. First Irish sporting side of any kind to visit Nepal. And what will be an 8-match series. We've got 2 against the senior, the full side. 2 T20s to start with, before then 6 games it will be between the Ireland Wolves, which are the Ireland A side, and Nepal A, who named their squad about 24 hours ago. But all the big guns are here. Kushal Malla, Lalit Rajbanshi, Gulshan Jha et al. See Avanesh Bahar, the death specialist there. And we're nearly all set to start. We're just going to see if we can find maybe a little bit of footage of the toss earlier. I was down with the 2 captains, Ireland Wolves winning the toss. We won't be able to show you that just now, but Neil Rock, the Irish Wolves captain, he won the toss and he chose to have a bat first. Maybe a bit of a surprise. Rohit Paudel wanted to chase as well. Can we get the starting 11s? Can we get the starting 11s? And we're right in the middle of the square on what looks like a very good batting surface. There is a few patches of rolled in dried grass there, particularly from the Chobar end, that the seamers might try to look to exploit. And here comes the power-hitting pair for Ireland, opening up the batting. Ross Adair, Mark Adair's brother, alongside Stephen Doheney. They'll get things going. Keep your eye on this man, Ross Adair, throughout these 8 matches. There are the starting 11s. 15-man squads for both, and the 4 left out for Nepal. And we see no place today for young Akash Chan, Pratish Chisi, the left-arm seamer, Anil Sa, and Bibek Yadav misses out. But we heard Rohit Paudel say at the toss that this is very much countdown to ACC Premier Cup and T20 World Cup time. What a year of exciting action it is to look forward to. It all really starts here today in Kathmandu. Probably not the batting order we'll see, obviously. Likely Asif Sheikh will open things up alongside Kushal Bertel, and plenty of bowling options. 3 seam bowling options: Sampal Kami, Karen KC and Gulshan Jha, and then we'll see the spin of Lalit Rajbanshi, Kushal Malla, Dipender Singh Ari, and maybe Rohit Paudel as well. So plenty of options. And for Ireland, 9 of this 15-player squad of international experience at the senior level, and 2 of those are missing out. James McCollum, the test opener, as PJ Moore, the dual international, played for both Zimbabwe and Ireland, misses out. But we're all set for a wonderful tour. Andrew Leonard here with you, and delighted to be joined by Sachin Timulsena this morning. Sachin, firstly, very good afternoon to you. It's going to be a great 8 games we've got to look forward to.
Thank you, Lenny. Welcome to Nepal. I hope you enjoyed Holi yesterday. Your video actually went viral. Famously calls Nepal his second home, Andrew. I'm sure you're looking forward to a wonderful series, aren't you?
I won't lie, Sachin, it's a bit special. This first ever, amazing to find that out. Not just the first Irish cricket team, but the first Irish sporting team of any kind to come here and tour Nepal. And we've got, in terms of a T20 World Cup build-up, 2 critical games for Rohit Paudal's men. I just wonder, is this maybe the 11 that he's thinking of going into those first games in June with? It'll all get going in the Netherlands, against the Netherlands in Texas. But for Ireland, there'll be a few nerves. Keep your eyes on this man. Ross Adair hits a very big ball. Slip in place. And Karen Casey to get us going. And that might be a sign of things to come. An extension of the arms through a big gap between mid-off and extra cover. What a flying start for Ireland. Ross Adair, 4.
Wonderful start with the series as well. Karen Casey, nothing much wrong with that delivery, but it was stand and deliver stuff this from the Ireland opener. Karen Casey was a good length delivery, and he found the gap, and actually nobody moved on this ground. Ireland winning the toss, electing to bat first.
Bowls him. Well, 4 and out for Ross Adair. Casey pulls his length back. Might have just hit that little grassy patch I was talking about. Nips back in. The top of leg stump is castled. It was short and sweet for Ross Adair. He's gone. Second ball for 4.
Would you anticipate a better start for the series? This is one of the most animated starts I've ever seen. The first ball smacked for a boundary. The second ball, the stumps dislodged. The very second ball of this home 5-minute Ardent Wolves tour of Nepal. And the big man will have to make his way back.
So Ross Adair is gone for 4. Ireland Wolves 4 for 1.
Well then, 4 for 1 now, the score. Karen Casey has got a wicket off the very second delivery. This has been his trait for some time now. Karen Casey likes picking up wicket in the very first over. He's a tricky customer to face Karen Casey. Gets the ball to swing both ways. And Cade has come in after the dismissal of Ross Adair, who was bowled by this man on your screen.
Beats him outside the off stump. Yeah, young Cade Carmichael, certainly a name to watch. 21 years of age, one of the youngsters in this squad from the Instonians Cricket Club in Belfast, plays for the Northern Knights as well. Small lad, but does pack a big punch, and certainly he was named by several of his teammates as the one to watch throughout this tour.
Invited for that drive, Karen Casey was outside the line of off stump, a little too wide. And young Cade Carmichael didn't get his foot anywhere close to the ball. Fortunately, no harm done.
Nicely driven, but Kushal Malla does enough to keep it to a single. Yeah, you certainly think of the different preparations for these two sides. For Nepal, they've been playing so much cricket. For many of this Irish squad, with the exception of those who were there in the UAE, I think 5 or 6 of them across the 3 different formats in that tour of Afghanistan there were in action. The rest have been training in freezing conditions. That's what Ryan Eagleson, the head coach, was saying to you this morning, Sachin.
Five for 1. Should not be much difficult for the Irish side to acclimatize here, Andrew. Got Karen Casey excited for a moment, but there was no bat involved at all.
You can just see it there, can't you? That sort of grassy patch. Probably not a full length, but just slightly back of a length from this end. And that's even pitched short of that. And significant movement, great take from Asif Sheikh down the leg side. But yeah, it's a big adjustment for Ireland, particularly the young guys who have been training either in Belfast or the Queen's Indoor Centre or in North County and North County Dublin. Been a lot of snow, a lot of rain about, freezing cold conditions to come out here in the sunshine in Nepal. Beautifully driven. That's going to be 4. The second boundary in the over gets us to the end of the first. Ireland Wolves, 9 for 1.
Like some.
So, action-packed start, what we expect throughout the rest of the series. 9 runs and a wicket from the first over. Going to be Sampal Kami to get things going from the pavilion end of the ground. Actually, Stephen Doherty on strike facing his first ball. One of those other guys who has had a lot of experience at the top level, some ODI cricket in particular. And there'll be plenty of this Irish squad looking to force their way into T20 World Cup contention.
The Nepali side now, they're looking to consolidate and actually stabilize the playing 11 or the 15-man squad. We saw plenty of experimenting in the previous few series. I had a small chat with Monty Desai regarding the same thing, and he agreed that Nepal are now looking to build a stable team for that Asia Cup qualifier and also the big World Cup that's to be played after 2 months in the United States and in the Caribbean. Decent start this for Ireland, apart from that wicket, Lenny.
There'll be serious nerves for the majority of this Irish squad. I've heard a lot about what Nepali cricket is all about the passion, the love for the game, the fans, the enthusiasm for the sport. And from speaking to every one of the players, every one of them just so excited to be here.
We've made news all over, isn't it? The fans, the jam-packed stands, the grassy bank always full. Quick single this time. Sompal Kami into his long run-up.
Nearly chops on. Inside edge, evades the sprawling dive of Asif Sheikh. And it's going to be a 4, a very fortunate boundary for Stephen Doherty. He looks down at the inside edge.
Sompal will not be very disheartened with that, because this could have easily gone on to hit the stumps. Lucky boundary this. 14 for 1 now the score. What's the score, Lenny, do you think the Irish side would be looking at?
It's actually a little surprised they batted first for a couple of reasons. One, Nepal love chasing here, don't they? They adore trying to hunt big totals down. We've got those scores right now. The other reason I was surprised by them deciding to have a bat first. First game of the tour, all those nerves, you almost want to get out there together as 11 players and just get into the action. Didn't have a practice game. There was no sort of warm-up game. They just did 2 training sessions, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. The one on Saturday was abridged by rain. And then yesterday, I think about half the squad decided to go celebrate Holi, and the other half decided to come and have a hit.
We did see the videos that went viral, in fact. The Irish players going around Kathmandu to celebrate Holi. It's a crazy festival here. Massive attempt of a pull. Beaten completely. I heard from a couple of CAN volunteers that the Irish players, while they're practice, they were smacking sixes out of the park. They had not seen that big sixes in this ground.
You know, I think again it's hard for me to get across as someone who's got a foot in both camps, if you will. Spent a lot of time here in Nepal, obviously from Ireland myself. Just how different cricket is here compared to back home. In Ireland, we're used to a lot of rain. We're used to grassy surfaces, not different to early season England in the county championship when the ball nibbles about. Here, there's barely any grass out on the square. The ball will turn. And that's going to angle down the leg side. Cammy convinced. None of his teammates are. End of the second. 15 for 1.
That's one leg for you.
So Karan Casey will continue from the Chovad and got a wicket off the very second delivery of this first match of Ireland Wolves Tour of Nepal. The 15 for 1.
Well, that's a very pleasing drive, but Powdell reads it nicely, gets across quickly to his left. Sachin, I to leave you to get over to the UAE for that T20 tri-series that followed Cricket World Cup League 2. There was some really good stuff in there from Nepal, but ultimately were they a little bit disappointed overall with that, the T20s that followed the Netherlands and Namibia?
Absolutely. I mean, Nepal, in fact, were out of the tournament at one point of the series. They got back into that match against Namibia and won out of nowhere, thanks to that 2 wickets from Dipender Singh Airy that brought Nepal back into the series. But Nepal did expect Nepal to win. We did expect Nepal to win the finals as well because they defeated the Netherlands very comfortably in the previous match of that final. But that has been the kind of patch for Nepali team right now. We've gotten into the finals but not been able to clinch trophies. The same story in Hong Kong, here as well. Even in the T20 World Cup qualifiers, we're defeated by Oman in the finals. So there's been something with the finals.
We're going to call that one a tie. The super over. We'll call that one a tie. That wasn't a defeat. Not by my reckoning.
Well, they took the trophy though.
They did, but it was a lovely moment, wasn't there? The two teams celebrating qualification. And that's going to be too high. And immediately a very good call from Stephen Doheny. I think that's probably hit Carmichael in a nasty area. Maybe the inner thigh pad. Yeah, I think obviously I read a lot of the social media comments. The passion from the Nepali fans is always there, but I think sometimes the emotions can get carried away. It was a very understrength squad they sent to Hong Kong. Monty Desai clearly wanted to try and blood a few guys. Maybe the margin of defeat was a surprise against Papua New Guinea in that final, though.
Absolutely. Apart from that, I mean, the quality of cricket has certainly improved. Nepal into that massive World Cup as well. They have a big opportunity of qualifying into the Asia Cup again for the second consecutive time. And Monty Desai was very concerned about it. He wants consistency in wins and qualifications.
Nice cutter from Karen KC. Yeah, we heard him be quite vocal about that. He wants a bit of stability now. He wants probably, unless somebody does something amazing from that the Nepal team in the 6 games that will follow, you might be surprised if this isn't the 15 that go to Oman for the ACC Premier Cup.
Somebody will have to do what Anil Shah did against Canada. Scored 50 in his comeback match, the fastest 50 for Nepal, then scored 100 as well. I'm a little surprised why he's not in the playing 11 today, because he's been in good form, Anil Shah.
Well, you don't take on Kushal Bertel or Dipender Singh Ari. Ireland will have to learn that. That's maybe the one message I got across to them. Keep your eyes on Nepal. They're a wonderful fielding unit.
They looked for a single initially. But Carmichael was sent back, and rightly so. As Lenny mentioned, that Kushal Bertel and Dipender Singh Ari, these two fielders you'd not want to risk taking quick singles.
Slight fumble from Kushal Malla for the second time already this afternoon. Just going to check. I think that does get us to the end of the third over. 17 for 1.
Well, 17 for 1. Doheny and Carmichael rebuilding this innings after that second ball shocker from Karan Casey.
Yeah, Ross Adair, first ball boundary, he'll have been brimming with confidence, and then a knocked back second delivery. This is going to be the test for me for the Irish Wolves side here in Nepal. How do they play the very fine Nepali spinners? Lalit Rajbanshi is going to give us the first sign of tweak in this series. Bowls the fourth over. It won't just be the senior Nepal side. You look at that Nepal A team that's been named, plenty of spin options in that too.
We never go short of spinners, Lenny. And left arm off spinners, we have them in dozens. Lalit, the best of them. He's attempted to sweep it. It's taken the leading edge. Falls in no man's land. Lucky this for Doheny.
Yeah, I think for Stephen Doheny, this is a massive tour. He's someone who would have long been identified, probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, as potentially being an all-format player for Ireland. And I think some Irish fans will think he's a little hard done by. Doesn't have the worst numbers in terms of his start to his ODI career. Just had a few technical fragilities outside the off stump. They were a little bit exposed, particularly at the very top level in the Cricket World Cup Super League. And then he found himself left out entirely. That's the importance of A-team cricket for Ireland, the Wolves as they're known. Give him a chance to show his worth and get back into the selectors' thoughts at the senior level. Lovely shot. Good use of the crease from the young Cade Carmichael. Well, I think many in Irish cricket have been purring about this young man. Talk about potentially a world-class protege, the likes of Lorcan Tucker and Harry Tector's footsteps he could follow in. That's a gorgeous stroke of the highest quality.
Well, moves on to 11 of 9 now. Lalit conceding boundary off the fourth ball off his first over. Hasn't been in best of forms, Lalit. What will be his response?
I thought he bowled really nicely in the ODIs, the Cricket World Cup League 2 ODIs, even though they weren't the most successful for Nepal. But then just that ever-changing dynamic. There's a gulf in difference between T20I cricket and ODI cricket. And Rajbanshi needs to find a way to succeed in this shortest format.
Nepal relies heavily in this youngster, Lalit Rajbanshi.
Big appeal, pretty full, pretty straight, good enough. I don't think Doheny got outside the line, which is what he was attempting to do. It's skidded on, no turn on offer, and Rajbanshi strikes.
There could not have been an easy decision for the umpire. That was crashing middle leg. Stephen Doheny trying to play that massive sweep over the mid-wicket region. Yes, the ball would have stuck the middle off, maybe. Not at all a difficult decision for the umpire. Second wicket has fallen for the Irish team. And that slow finger of Binay Kumar Jha raised, bringing celebration for Rajbanshi and Nepal. So after 4, 25 for 2.
Change of ends for Sampal Kami. We'll just get a correction. That's actually Cade Carmichael who was trapped LBW. Graphics misleading me here. Apologies. In comes the new man at number 4. He's at the non-strikers. End Young Morgan topping to the crease. Stephen Doheny still there. And we will just get those graphics updated in a moment.
So Carmichael it is who made that long walk back. Wicket off the very first over for Lalit Rajbanshi. It must do a world of good for his confidence. And meanwhile, Sompal changes his end. Ball from the tee, you get end. And now his turn towards the Chobar end.
Thanks to the team for getting that updated. 2 dots to start the 5th over. The problem for Ireland, losing early wickets here. Winning the toss, choosing a bat first. A few nerves about. It's a long way back from here, isn't it? They don't want to lose a third in the power play.
Certainly. A bit of nerves as well. Andrew, how much does the reputation of Nepali fans and the Nepali culture affect a touring team? How much is that in the dressing room conversations and the think tank conversations?
It's all they were talking about in the build-up. A couple of very charismatic guys in this touring party. The likes of Fionn Hand, I think, will become a fan favourite, the all-rounder. Beats the outside edge. The likes of Ben White, a very talented young leg spinner. And Gareth Delaney hits as big a ball as well anyone I've ever seen. These boundaries won't be big enough for him if he gets it out of the screws. So it was really all the talk. We probably only got about maybe 2,000 fans in at the moment. It is Holi. We're into the second day of the celebrations. Big day yesterday. So hopefully those crowds will increase throughout. Get those tickets, remember, on IME Pay. But certainly it's something, stuff of dreams really for Irish cricketers to come out here to Nepal. Now some innovation. This is not where Doheny intended it. He's not going to mind though. May well have gone all the way. He was looking to ramp it over his shoulder to the leg side. Instead it catches a leading edge and it goes all the way for 6.
A stylish 6 this. As Lenny mentioned, the ball did not find the best timing off the bat. Not at all what he intended, actually. A leading edge, just over the rope, just outside the rope, in fact. And a 6 this for Ireland. They'll need plenty more. Nepal was slowly getting the hold off the game. This 6 has certainly broken the shackle.
Lovely length this time. Fuller from Cammy, and Doheny can't beat him on the follow-through. One thing I've been impressed about so far for Ireland, they haven't been afraid to play their shots. I know Carmichael has obviously fallen to a big attempted slog sweep, and Doheny didn't get that where he intended, but they've been sent out with a bit of freedom, it seems, by Ryan Eagleson, the head coach.
They decided to bat first, and you were surprised by it, Lenny. But they've come in, they're looking to play the shots, not bothered by those 2 wickets that fell early. But that's the way to go. You not want to get yourself stuck. 31 for 2 now.
Just a few more dots than they would have liked, I think, alongside those 2 wickets in this first power play. 7 runs come from Cammy's second. It's 32 for 2.
Well, it's no surprise at all. Lalit will be bowling the final over of the power play. Got a wicket in the first over of his. Got that big wicket of Kate Carmichael.
Hasn't been any tangible or noticeable spin yet for Rajbanshi. He can get it to grip, of course he can. But at the moment, really just skidding on.
Exactly, and I think Carmichael was looking for some kind of turn, and maybe the ball just came in really too sharp. Didn't connect the ball at all. Stands back, cuts, finds the gap. Another boundary this for Stephen Doheny. Moves on to 19. Was not a very good delivery from Lalit as well. Had plenty of time to just rock back and find the fence, which he did it in style.
Yeah, a few good signs here for Ireland. Certainly, it's hard to get across the scale of nerves they'll have had. They know how good Nepal are. But look at that, good use of the depth of the crease. Finds the gap. Maybe slightly shorter, just a couple of metres shorter out to the offside. Gets more than enough of it to get 4 more. Bit of pressure on Rajbanshi. Now a bit of a giveaway, but he gets away with it. And they'll get through for the single. Well, that was a slightly ugly looking hack from Doheny, lucky to survive.
It was a pure slog. It was premeditated. A big heave towards the onside. And fortunately for Doheny, he's still there because the ball was in the air for some time.
Plenty of power to come, isn't there, for Ireland? You think of the ball striking quality of Neil Rock, who had an excellent inter-pro season last year, the captain of this Wolves team. Gareth Delaney, a brilliant T20 tour of the UAE when Ireland were playing Afghanistan. Very nearly got Ireland over the line in that second T20I. And Fionn Hand is very capable at number 7 too. They'd love them, I think, to bat in the second half of the innings, though, and start to find those big hits. Maximums are critical here at the TU.
Absolutely, and we've seen plenty of sixes off the bat of Nepal and the touring teams in the previous series. Lofty Eaton got the fastest 100 ever in T20Is. Michael Levitt from Netherlands got a big 100 as well. 6 overs gone, 37 for 2. How's it in international level? It's all perfect from the start.
Coming right arm over. End of power play.
So Gulshan Jha, he'll be bowling from the Chobar end, and Gulshan didn't bowl much in the previous series against Canada. He bowled against Canada, but he did not bowl much in that tri-series when Nepal battled it out with Namibia and Netherlands. He's a good choice in this kind of a track. He can generate bounce, loves bowling in that good length area. Easy single driven down the ground, and joins me in the comm box is Ayush Gautam. A very good afternoon, Ayush.
A very good afternoon, Sachin. It's a decent start for both the side. Nepal getting that early 2 wickets of Ireland Wolves. They have a lot of hard hitter to join in. What's the ideal score, Sachin, do you think, in this wicket? Because the wicket is looking flat.
Well, they decided to bat first, and they must have had an idea of the average score in that tri-series between Nepal, Namibia and Netherlands. I think they'd surely be looking at a score of more than 180. That's something I'm really certain about. A beautiful delivery, knocks the off stump. Gulshan Jha has completely bamboozled the batter. Morgan topping. He was left clueless by this japper from Gulshan Jha.
Well, a beautiful delivery. Look at that delivery. Look at the seam position. That was the previous ball, but a brilliant wicket. A much needed wicket for the Nepalese side. The willow went flying, Sachin. There's a pace in that ball. Morgan topping. Not getting any score in the board. Right arm over.
So 3 wickets have fallen for the touring team. Wide to follow up that wonderful delivery by Gulshan Jha. It was a dream delivery, really. Morgan topping will go back to the dressing room and look at the replay of that dismissal for a long, long time, because he had no idea about the delivery. And a wonderful wicket for Gulshan Jha. He needed that wicket, Gulshan.
Well, absolutely. The first over and a brilliant delivery to get rid of Morgan topping. The new man in is the skipper, Neil Rock. Now Ireland Wolves needs a partnership at the moment. They need to rebuild this inning.
39 for 3. Power play overs have been bowled. And a wicket each for Karan Casey, Lalit Rajbangsi and Gulshan Jha. Has been a great find for Nepal, Gulshan Jha. A perfect all-rounder, equally capable with the ball and with the bat. Slow delivery again, not the best of lines, and treated very well this by Neil Rock, the captain who has walked in. And these are gift runs for the Irish batters. They won't miss them. Gulshan Jha again struggling with the left-hander. Was drifting down the leg side, just help on its way. And a much-needed boundary this for the Irish side.
Well, absolutely. Left and right hand combination in the middle. Gulshan Jaha a bit struggling against the left-handed Neil Rock. He's just trying to ball that delivery that he was balling to Morgan, topping around that fourth stump. Neil Rock is part of the senior Ireland team as well.
Much better this from Gulshan Jha. Struggles with line sometimes, Gulshan. He's not been very consistent with the ball. He has been a great find, as I mentioned. Was nowhere in the scene before 3 years or so. And brought in, and Coach Monty Desai has shown a lot of confidence in this young man.
Well, absolutely. Gulshan Jha made his mark from the Mayor's Cup. He was bowling pretty well. Nepal Police Club just give him that opportunity, and after that, it's just history now. This time a slower delivery. That's the end of 7th over. Ireland Wolves 43 for 3.
So Doheny and Neil Rock, the captain for Ireland in this Ireland Wolves tour of Nepal. They'll need to build a partnership. Wonderful shot. This will be just over the top. Away from the fielder there, Sandeep Zora. Believed he was in the game for a moment, but the ball went just over his head. And second six this for the Irish side.
Look at this. He just went down on his knee, followed the ball. Well, Dipendra Singh Aire would not be happy with the first ball. This time just offered that room.
He played with the spin. Doheny, they've read the bowlers really well. He went with the spin and the ball cleared the boundary. Just, but the result the same. 6 runs for Ireland. It's not a great feeling conceding a 6 of the very first ball of your over. Karan conceded a boundary, but then got a wicket off the very next ball. Small battles in cricket.
Well, small battles, and Rohit Kumar Paudel focusing on those matchups as well. There's a left-handed Neil Rock coming in. Dipendra Singh Aire just coming on with his off spin. Now this is going to be an interesting move. Dipendra Singh Aire bowling to Neil Rock. They'll be definitely looking to get the wicket of the left-handed batsman.
Gareth Delani, the big hitter. 4 of 6, it's just out there. 2 wickets for Gulshan Jha, 1 each for Karan Casey and Lalit Rajbangsi.
Well, Ireland Wolves not be happy because you just see they were getting that start, they were getting that partnership in middle, but they could not just capitalize the partnership that they were building on. Small partnership, small cameos at the moment, and this is what I was talking about, Sachin. We could definitely see left arm orthodox coming in tandems from both the end because you have 2 right-handed batsmen in the crease. Doheny and Delaney now, they need to build this partnership because they have got big hitter of the ball yet to follow. They need to create that foundation for just the middle order and lower middle order to just come and go for that big score because they have got very good hitters to come in.
I agree, Ayush. And meanwhile, the Nepali bowlers would be pretty happy with themselves. They have not allowed the Ireland Wolves to get to a flyer. Instead, they picked up 4 wickets, got a wicket off the very second delivery. That was Karan Casey in his first over. And Kushal Malla gives the ball a lot of air, and that's the reason why the ball has gone up in there. And easiest of catches for the best fielder on the ground. That's Dipender Singh Airi, who has taken one of the easiest catches he'll ever receive.
Well, we are just talking about this too needs to create that foundation, needs to build that partnership. It was, look at the delivery, Kushal Malla just offering that room to Delaney, offering that flight. The ball was far away from the body. You were just trying to play that shot. A simple catch for Dipendra Singh Airi. Gareth Delaney walks back to the dressing room with just 4 runs. Well, Ireland Wolves 63 for 5.
That's your leg stick. Little bit more. Little bit more. Yeah, that's your 2 legs. Yeah. Coming left arm round.
Well, half the side of the Ireland Wolves team back in the hunt now. Few in hand has come at the center. Doesn't move his feet much. Played towards the onside. Has taken a single, not a bad idea to give the strike to the well set Stephen Doheny. He's batting at 39 now. He's taken 31 balls. By far the best batter so far today for the Ireland Wolves. And this was the dismissal. Easiest of catches, as I said, for Dipender Singh Airi. It was a nothing shot, really. And that's how Kushal Malla actually deceives the batters, Ayush, because he deceives the batters with the pace. He gives the ball a lot of air. He's very slow through the air. And sometimes it's very difficult to time against him.
Absolutely, Sachin. As a batsman, when you are trying to hit Kushal Malla, you need to put that effort while hitting to Kushal Malla, and this is what Sachin was talking about. It does not offer that pace. It just comes in, offer that flight, ball slowly. And as a batsman, you would want to keep that effort to hit the ball hard. And this has been the story for Kushal Malla.
Such a handy all-rounder, Kushal Malla. We know his abilities with the bat as well. And gets the wicket when it's needed. Nearly got Nepal back into that match against the Netherlands. And that's the scorecard so far. The Irish team will not be very happy with it, because apart from Stephen Doheny, none of the batters managing to get to that double figure. A sorry looking batting card, you'll have to say, so far. But they still have more than 9 overs to go. Can Can they post a total that will trouble Nepal? So far, they are in big trouble.
Well, and it would be interesting to see the death over from the Nepalese side as well. We have seen the team struggling in those death overs. Once again, ball coming with that angle. The high-risk batsman needs to be careful because now they could just see Captain Rohit Kumar Paudel would use his spinners as much as he can.
Was a very good delivery again. Fortunately for Fionn, he got some bat. Only 4 runs and a wicket for Kushal Malla in his first over. Takes the score to 66 for 5 after 11. So that's the bowling card. A wicket for Karan Kesey. Lalit has one for Malla as well, and 2 wickets for Gulshan Jha. 66 for 5. The Nepali side would be very happy. Rohit Paudel certainly happy with his bowling changes as well. Dipendra Singh Ari was given 1 over, then removed. And another change in the bowling. Kushal Burtel with his leg spin is introduced for the first time. Easy single of the very first ball.
Still, we have not seen Avinash Bohra coming into ball. I guess the captain would want him to ball in those death overs. Kushal Burtel is enjoying his bowling.
That was really good delivery, Ayush. And it's great to see how Kushal has evolved as a bowler. He's learned the art a little late in his career. Known for his batting abilities, obviously. He also gets turn at occasion. Can he get 1 more for his team now?
Well, the ball stayed low. It was a googly from Kushal Burtel. The ball stayed low. Fionn was just trying to hit the ball over the mid-wicket reason. Just changed his pace and deceived Fionn with that googly.
Shows that he has put in a lot of work behind his bowling. Oh, this was a fantastic delivery again. He was tasting the batter. Fionn inviting him on the front foot. And the ball did get some turn as well. The previous ball was a googly. This time was a conventional leg spinner. He's building his abilities. Kushal Burtel. The length again immaculate. Fionn in 2 minds whether to stay behind and push it through or to come on the front foot. Decides to stay at the back foot and punches it through for the single. And now Stephen Doheny, he has a massive responsibility on his shoulders to take his team forward from here and post something that's respectable. The 69 for 5, mind you. With Operd, slapped. But well done there in the G by Kushal. In fact, it's Gulshan who saved the boundary, and the score is 70 for 5. Another tight over for Nepal. So Neil Rock decided to bat first. I'm sure he would not be pleased with his side at this point of time. They're 70 for 5. Kushal Malla picked up a wicket in his very first over. And Doheny is still there. That's the good news for the Irish side. Ireland Wolves still there, cuts. And a couple of runs for Doheny. Moves on to 44 now.
We're talking about the small partnership that Ireland Wolves were building. But I guess, Sachin, it's the condition that has played a major role in this collapse. As a touring team, you'd always want to have a look at the condition, and they're playing in absolutely different conditions.
Taken on the full, in no mood to go big. Stephen Doheny, Kushal Malla bowling that juicy full toss in expectation of Doheny to go against him big. Isn't the case though. And few on hand, he can take a couple of balls and just nudge around singles, give the strike back to Doheny, who's settled there. At least give partnership, build partnership with somebody, because Doheny, apart from his innings of 45 of 36, none of the other Ireland Wolves batters have managed to get onto the double figures.
This is what Fionn needs to do at the moment. Just stay there in the crease, play that supporting role to Doheny. So it is time trying to come down the track. Fionn needs to hold his nerves because Doheny is looking confident. He's playing those shots pretty well. The Irish side would definitely want Doheny to stay there in the crease till the last over. But one thing that they would be looking is the supportive role.
Again, good length. Got Doheny in two minds whether to come down or to stay behind. They've struggled today, the Irish batters. And that is bound to happen when you lose a wicket off the very second ball, and they lost wickets in consistent intervals. Finds the gap for a single. Score now, 13 gone, 74 for 5.
Well, Ireland Wolves 75 for 5. Not the start that they would have wanted. But Doheny is still there in the crease. This time it was away from the body. He was trying to go. It's a fielder out there. The easiest of catches for Dipendra Singh Airi. Well, there's a change in the commentary box as well. I'd like to welcome Lenny. Welcome back, Lenny.
Well, Dipendra Singh Airi, he's never dropping that, is he? Really a giveaway after such a good innings from Stephen Doheny. He played nicely, played with good control. And both Doheny and Delaney before him done by a lack of pace through the air. They were trying to impart pace onto the ball. Doheny's gone for 46 and it's 75 for 6. Looks like it's going to be Tom Mays at number 8. I thought we might see Liam McCarthy. Mays, who's been in and around the senior Irish squad, but yet to be capped. Well, I'm not sure how he's played a shot at that. That could have been a double wide if he left it alone. Bertel's part-time leg breaks, they tend to take a lot of wickets, Ayush.
Well, absolutely. Kushal Burtel is turning into be a leg spinner at the moment. He's enjoying his bowling from the Prime Minister's Cup. Well, that was the wicket. Just lowered through the air. That was not a wicket-taking delivery, to be honest. Tawhini just throwing his wicket. Getting that turn, Kushal Burtel. Well, absolutely, Denny. He's enjoying his bowling from the Prime Minister's Cup. He's taking that responsibility of leg spinner in the team when they're playing for Nepal Police Club as well. Not a star that Irish team would have wanted, Lenny, at this condition, 76 for 6.
Googly, not sure it was picked necessarily out of the hand by Fionn Hand. He's really, for me here, Ayush, he's probably the last major hope with the bat for Ireland. Liam McCarthy is, well, he's maybe a little more than just a lower order player, but Tom May's not renowned for his batting necessarily. Ireland have got themselves in a tangle. There was a prediction I gave you before the start of the game. It's against spin. Don't face high quality spin altogether too often. It's a real drag down and Bertel gets away with it.
Well, do you think, Lenny, it's the conditions that has played a major role in this collapse as well? The wicket and the conditions here, spinners hunting in tandems.
I think there's been a few poor shots, being honest with you. A little bit of the occasion getting to Ireland. Nicely bowled again, slow through the air, gets us to the end of the 14th. It's a wicket taking over, 78 for 6.
That's one leg. Perfect. That's one leg. A bit more. A bit more. That's two legs.
Kushal Malla coming in from the Chova end. Kushal Malla, both the batsmen, Moyes and Fionn, needs to hold their nerves out there. They need to play the full 20 over. They need partnership at the moment. A bit of lucky. Kushal Malla just using his angle, bringing the ball back to the right-handed batsman.
I came and watched Ireland train on Saturday. They were in a centre wicket practice. There is actually good spin options for Ireland. Keep your eyes on Ben White, and I know Gavin Hoey's not in the team today, but Gavin Hoey, a very talented young leg spinner, Pembroke and Leinster Lightning man. Ben White had an excellent series with the ball. And that's the most pleasing thing for me. There was a talk of a few thunderstorms, but lovely blue skies. Big difference for Ireland. They won't have faced much spin bowling at this pace, Ayush. Look at how slow it is through the air. Nepal, they know their own conditions and they're exploiting them absolutely perfectly right now. Ireland in all sorts of trouble. And this time it's an edge. Again, a big shot attempted. Might have the pace to run to the rope at will. Another misfield from Karen Casey crashes in to the Dafa News hoarding, and one of the sponsors powering this series. And a fortunate boundary for Hand to get to double figures.
Very unlucky this time. But you could just see Vaughan was trying to for that angling ball. Kushal Malla just playing with the mind. The previous two deliveries, getting that slight turn.
It hasn't been a huge amount of turn and off from any just angle, but it's the pace that Malla bowls at. He's very, very brave.
Absolutely, if you are playing against Kushal Malla as a batsman, you need to put that extra effort to hit the ball hard because he does not offer you any pace. Once again, It's a lower full toss. They're looking for 2. Just be happy. Well, that's the end of 15th over. Ireland Wolves 84 for 6. Kushal Patel continuing in from the TU end. Still no sign of Avinash Bora. Just using his spinners. This time going over the covers and straight into the hands of Dipendra Singh Airi. Well, the ball is following him everywhere he goes.
Another one beaten by the lack of pace. Got a pretty good piece of this actually, Fionn Hand. Wasn't out of the middle necessarily, maybe a little bit towards the bottom left corner of the bat. That's where he's looking now, but just slow through the air. Hand having to impart the pace. Look at the way Dipendra Singh Airi has read that, and Akash Chand right next to him. One of the 12th men today running drinks. Nepal are on fire here. Hand the latest to go. It's 84 for 7.
Vitra, line. Fine. You can please middle. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Ireland in all sorts of trouble. Kushal Patel, as he's often done over the last couple of months, his bowling coming more and more to the fore. I suggested maybe we might see some off breaks from Rohit Powdell at some stage. I forgot to mention Kushal Patel's leg breaks. It's Liam McCarthy, the new man to the crease, comes in at number 9. Really, numbers 8 through 11 in this Irish Wolves order, not renowned for their batting. As soon as Doheny fell, Ireland are looking at maybe being bowled all out inside their 20 overs now.
Lack of pace doing that job for Nepal. This time just play it softly. Fine leg fielder Avinash Bora was inside the 30-yard circle. That boundary would certainly give that confidence to McCarthy.
Yeah, really nicely played. Product of Railway Union Cricket Club, most famously producing the likes of the 2 O'Brien brothers. Kenny Carroll as well. Trent Johnson spent a good bit of his career there. You'll see him with the ball later. He's got a little bit of pace to him. Starts nicely with the battle though, has to adjust to the spin again. They're going to try to take on the second to Dipendra Singh Airi. They will get there. This is the challenge for Ireland against spin in completely alien conditions for them.
The spinners have done their job so far. Look at Kushal Malla, Kushal Patel, not offering any peace to the batsman. But yeah, to be honest, we're talking about the Irish side have thrown their wicket. Not needed shots at the moment. We should just trying to go after the spinners, the lack of pace and throwing their wicket. But this is a strong team. We're talking about a strong team that's touring Nepal.
More innovation attempted by McCarthy and very effective. He's favoured the leg side and a nice flourish to start with from the number 9. I thought he'd be at number 8. 10 runs and the wicket from the over. Ireland scrapping away, 94 for 7. trial by spin continues for Ireland. Remarkably, just 6 overs of seam bowled thus far. When Rohit Paudel said to me at the toss, we've gone seam heavy today, with Avanesh Bahara yet to be used. That's a big surprise. The death specialist, well, at best now he could only bowl 2 overs.
Absolutely. Nepal realizing that they could just haunt this Irish side with spinners, and we have seen the batsmen struggling against that lack of pace with the spinners coming in. And yes, as Lenny was mentioning it, in alien condition, you win the toss and electing to bat first. A surprising decision.
It's going to be a wide down the leg side. They won't run the extra on top of it. I'd go a little further than that. I think a massively surprising decision at the toss. Never played here before. No Irish team has. Just Kevin O'Brien and Paul Sterling were out here. Had a little bit of experience in one of the franchise competitions. That was back in 2018. Really nicely picked up man out there. Though over his head. Sandeep Jura nestled underneath it. What a cameo from McCarthy. The 100 comes up. What's he doing at number 9, Ayush?
Well, he's just coming in and playing his shots pretty well. McCarthy is looking confident. This was needed for the Irish team. Look at that shot. Previous delivery from Lalit Narayan Rajbangsi.
I think this is going to be... I thought it might have struck him outside the line, but Durgasu Betty says no, it was full. The umpire therefore has to believe it will continue upon the line that it's being delivered. Did it get him in line is the big question. Either way, the finger goes up, and McCarthy's little cameo, it ends on 16. So McCarthy falls for 16 off just 7 deliveries, 102 for 8. Ireland have themselves in a spot of bother after a little flourish from Liam McCarthy. You're going to see Matthew Humphreys in at number 10, the left-arm spinner. Played all 3 formats last year for the senior side at just the age of 19. Probably by his own admission, wasn't quite necessarily ready yet. Very raw still. This is the dismissal of McCarthy. Get one more look at it. I thought it might have hit him outside the line of leg stump.
Well, small cameo from McCarthy coming to an end. I guess that ball was just going down the leg side, Lenny. Probably.
I'm not sure about that one. Being honest, the umpiring generally on home soil here is excellent. You think of the likes of Buddy Pradhan, with all his experience, Durga Subedi getting better and better alongside Vinay Kumar Jha as well. But for me, I think McCarthy will feel a little unlucky. This one speared in the wide Yorker. Problem for Ireland. Only 2 wickets left now.
Just targeting that block hole, Lalit Narayan Rajbangsi. This time just coming with that angle. Just a single to end the over. It's 104 for 8.
There's the bowlers used thus far. The big surprise, no Avinash Bahara, obviously one of the hot topics on social media recently. He's found it a little bit tough to get it just right at the death. So good captaincy from Rohit Paudel, maybe caring for one of his more senior bowlers nicely and giving him a nice opportunity just to bowl a couple of overs here. Could pick up the wickets of maybe numbers 8, 10 or 11 and just build that confidence back up. You need death bowling options. Dipender Singh Ari is the other one I like seeing used at the death, despite the fact he's an off spinner. He's got those change-ups that work nicely. And for Mays and Humphreys in Ireland, maybe just thinking, can they scrap up to 125? I can't see it being enough, Ayush. And there is the now secretary of the Cricket Association of Nepal in the centre of your shot, the former captain, iconic Paris Kadke.
Well, death bowling has been a concern for the Nepalese side. If you look at the series that Nepal played before this, death bowling has been a concern. You look at the 50 overs format or the T20 format, the team would definitely be looking to improve their death bowling before moving on to the T20 World Cup. Well, Ireland Wolves will be definitely targeting to go over that 120 runs. I just want to ask you, Lenny, about the bowling attack that the Irish Wolves side have.
Nicely flicked away into the leg side, and Jura does well to keep that to a single rather than a boundary. Yeah, I actually really like the makeup of the Irish bowling attack, but again, you just talk about the conditions here. They'll be completely alien. Use that word quite a bit, I suspect, over particularly these first 2 days. Pace will be driven by the likes of Liam McCarthy and Tom Mays. If Fionn Han gets it through, he's got very good pace. You saw him make his test debut at Lords against England last summer. And then keep your eyes on the two leg spinners in the team today, Ben White and Gareth Delaney. There's the shorter ball. Humphreys doesn't quite know what to do with it. Yeah, that will probably be the main five that will be used. Humphreys himself bowls left arm spin. He'll be the other spin option. But it's just so different to what some of the players in Sharjah will have had experience of spinning conditions. That's the likes of Neil Rock and Gareth Delaney, Ross Adair and Ben White. But for the rest of the boys, they'll have been at home in either Queen's University in Belfast or in the North County Cricket Club Indoor Centre in Dublin, in North County Dublin. And their wintertime indoor facilities, it's just so different. It's hard to get across. Not grass. And to go from that, even if you're bowling with good loads, I've no doubt Matthew Humphreys will have bowled a lot. He's one of the contracted players for Cricket Ireland. It's just so different to then come out here to 24, 25 degrees, big crowd in place, 3,000 or 4,000 people. And I just worry now about Ireland. They could get blitzed away in the second innings. If Kushal Bertel gets going, this could be over quickly.
Well, absolutely, dude. Interesting to see the pace attack of Ireland Wolves. As Lenny was just talking about, they've got a good bowling lineup. A mix of pacers and spinners coming in. Four runs from this over so far. Just trying to create that room. Goes aerial. And go clear that rope. Myers is looking confident. Now this is what they need at the moment. They need to target the remaining overs.
Yeah, big hit down the ground. That's where you get good reward, good value here at the TU International Cricket Ground. It's where we see so many of Nepal's players hit firmly. Again, the margins are so tight, aren't they? For Bahara, trying to hit the block hole, misses it by, well, what, about 9, 12 inches? And it's just pumped down the ground. Good, strong shot. He's a big man, Tom Mays. And Kushal Bertel, thought he was in the game for a moment, but it goes soaring over his head. Troubles continue for Bahara.
He's finding it difficult to find that line and length. Avinash Bohra, we've seen him trying those short deliveries. He's got that good variations with Avinash Bohra. He could ball those off cutters, leg cutters pretty well.
It looks like he's just got a bit of protection, maybe some taping to, looks like the right elbow to me. Think about all the experience he has, 26 years of age, but he's played over 50 T20 Is. That career economy rate's excellent, 7.24, really good for somebody who bowls at the death, but there was points of that tri-series where he was just a little harshly treated, wasn't there? Netherlands and Namibia got after him. Ireland's specialist death bowler at the senior level is Mark Adair, Ross's brother. Ross part of this Wolves team, and he's always described it very well. You're the hero one day, you're the villain the next. It can be a difficult thing to do, bowling at the death. That time he gets it just right, nails that block hole to close out a 10-run opening over for him. The Wolves are 1-1-4 for 8. Sampal Kami to bowl the penultimate over of this first innings. It's the Dish Home Fibernet Ireland Wolves tour of Nepal. And what a historic occasion. I'm not going to lie, Ayush, I was barely able to sleep last night with the excitement. That wasn't just holy, wasn't getting smashed with all those colours on my famous Taklu Dai bald head.
Well, it's the Irish team touring Nepal for the first time. And Lenny, like, how are you feeling? Because you have been here in Nepal, you have been following associates cricket. You have been this is your second home, the Ireland team coming in to play in Nepal.
It's just so special. It really is. And look, being honest with you, I dream of the day when the senior side come here. You know, talking to the likes of Paul Sterling and Andy Balbirnie and the senior players from an Irish perspective. Sterling was here back in 2018. He still names Kathmandu as one of the favourite places he's toured in the entire world. And he's basically played every league, including the Caribbean, South Africa, New Zealand, everywhere. He's been all around the world. And he still thinks fondly of Kathmandu. It's a special place. That one's pumped straight down the ground. I think it might have taken a deflection. It'll be a single. But yeah, I think the day will come. I think we'll see more and more full member nations come. But in terms of preparation for Nepal, building into the ACC Premier, and maybe to find a bolter, who knows, someone from that Nepal A side could just do something. Can a Bashir Ahmed or a Binod Bandari stick their hand up across those 6 games and say, you've got to take me to Oman, and you've got to get me on the plane to the USA and the Caribbean.
The ball was in the air. They're just trying to play that hard stroke against Sampal Kami. Well, absolutely, this would be a perfect situation for the Nepal A side as well to play against the strong Ireland Wolves side. We have been mentioning so far there are 9 players who have represented the senior side.
And then that's the other side of it, Ayush, for particularly the likes of Ross Adair and Neil Rock. Probably include Stephen Doherty in this, who wasn't in any of the touring parties in the UAE recently. It's a massive opportunity for them to put their hands up. Okay, Adair out for a second ball 4 today. Can he get 200 or 300 runs across the series and say, I want to push Andrew Balbirnie and Paul Sterling at the top of the order? Didn't play any of the 3 T20Is against Afghanistan. Stephen Doherty, many Irish fans will think maybe a little unlucky. Only batted 7 times in ODI cricket, made 184. That was against Zimbabwe down in Harare. Generally looked pretty good, I thought, across his senior starts. So there's so much to play for, and I'm not too sure Sampal Kami is going to want to see the replay of this. He may be smiling for now. That's an overthrow given away.
Well, absolutely. He just hit the stumps and he was looking for the runner. Smile in his face. They just taken that 1 run. Well, but the Irish side would not be happy with the score because they would be just looking around that 125 from now on. You could just see in that replay, just got that ball in his hand. He just targeted that stump. And then he was looking for the runner. But a good presence of mind there.
He didn't just hit the stumps, did he? He demolished them. You're only 3 yards away, Sampal. Look at Durga. Durga's saying, please, Sampal, don't hit me. End result is a single. Not the most conventional one, though. Good death over this from Kami. Should be a couple, you'd imagine. Oh, mix-up. Big mix-up. Going to be a run out here. Gone! Excellent from Rohit Paudel and great match awareness from Sampal Kami to throw it down to Asif Sheikh. A calamitous run out for Ireland.
Just a lower full toss. Rohit Kumar Paudel just running in, gathering the ball, giving it to Sampal Kami. Look at Sampal Kami. Just a good presence of mind there. And a wicket. Umpires is out. Small cameo was going on. It's 117 for 9.
Ben White in at number 11. He'll be at the non-striker's end. So we're going to get those graphics corrected because it's Tom Mays that is still in there. Tom Mays is there because Humphreys was the one who was run out. They did get one run, but in looking for the second, they were run out. So Mays is still there. Carnage all over the place. Even Cricinfo is that wrong. Oh, actually, we'll correct that. It is Humphreys. We will correct that. Cricinfo has it right, so we've got it right as well. Humphreys is there on 4. All the more remarkable that it was Mays that was run out. Surely he should have kept the strike. Yorker hit down the ground. We'll get the score correct. It is now 119 for 9.
Avinash Bohra just bowling his second over. We're talking about Avinash Bohra not being used in the middle overs, just bringing him at the death. Brilliance from the spinners today. They have been all over the Irish batsmen, not offering that pace.
Yeah, 7 wickets they've shared. Rajbanshi. 5 wickets they've shared. Rajbanshi, Mala and Bertel taking 5 between them. They get a leg bye here. And then 3 have gone to the seamers. 2 for Gulshan Jah, 1 for Karen KC. And then that run out to go with it. Yeah, I think this is well short apart. It probably needed something in the 160 realm to challenge. We've seen 180 actually be more regularly scored here.
And the wicket looks flat as well, Lenny. If you're there in the toss, we could just see a patch of green when the seamer would be bowling from the Chova end. Just going for that Yorker of Avinash Bohra.
Can't quite understand Humphreys trying to run that second when it would have been Mays on strike. That's why we've been confused there. Mays had just pumped a big 6 off Avinash Bohra in his first over down the ground. He was on 16 off 13 balls. I think he was completely surprised by Humphreys calling him back for a second. Nicely bowled, slower ball into the wicket. Ben White, a fine leg spinner, not particularly noted for his batting.
The first bounce for the over. This was a slower bouncer, but absolutely, we're talking about the batting of Ireland Wolves. They're bringing that slow, some bit of partnership, but they're not just converted. The last ball of this innings. A Yorker to finish off, and a wicket. Direct throw from Asif Sheikh.
Yeah, going to be a second run out in 2 overs, and a little bit of a tame end to this innings. Well bowled Avinash Bohra. Can't blame Humphreys for trying to run through for the single, but dead-eyed from Asif Sheikh has caught Humphreys short, and it's a very limp end for the Irish Wolves. They've been bowled all out for 121. Pretty sure it's Humphreys the man who's being dismissed. And it means that Ireland are well short of par on this opening day of the historic Dishon Fibernet Ireland Wolves Tour of Nepal.
7 minutes. Start.
Yeah, so there it is. 121 all out. Job done, really, for Monty Desai's men. Very impressive, particularly in the field, I felt, and the spin bowlers. Very, very impressive indeed. Let's take a look at the batting card. 46 for Stephen Doheney before a slightly limp end to his innings as he found Dipender Singh Airi down at long off. And then plenty of contributions. 3 other batters getting to double figures, but Fionn Hand, Tom Mays and Liam McCarthy all flattered to deceive a little bit. And disappointment for Cade Carmichael, Ross Adair and Morgan Topping at the top 2. Here's the bowling figures. Just the 2 overs. Maybe that one surprise for Avanesh Bahara. You can't quite see there at the bottom of the screen. 2 overs, none for 12 for him. But lots of wickets shared around. 5 to the spinners. And then 3 to the seamers alongside those 2 runouts that have left Ireland Wolves with 121 all out. Get one more look at that final wicket to fall. It was indeed Matthew Humphreys who sprinted through, nailed the block hole this time, Bahara. And look at Asif Sheikh, brilliance from him. He knew it's the last ball, he knew the bye is likely to be run, so he's got the right hand keeping glove in his back pocket. Takes it cleanly, throws down the stumps, and an extra run saved. Nepal, excellent. Ireland just finding their feet in these conditions. It means that Nepal will need 122 to win. It's going to be Kushal Bertel and Asif Sheikh to open it up in about 10 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere too far. We'll have all the action from the second innings very shortly. So here we are, first day of this Dish Home Fibernet Ireland Wolves tour of Nepal, and Ireland, a little surprisingly, choosing to bat first, and it hasn't gone their way. They've been rolled out predominantly by Nepal spinners in that first innings for just 121. Stephen Doheney's 46 opening the batting off 39 balls, including 6 boundaries, the standard innings. But we think it's a long way short of par on what looks a good batting surface. Could be a chastening start to this tour for the Irish Wolves if Kushal Bertel and Asif Sheikh get going. The regular opening partnership across both white ball formats is all set to go, and I suspect they're going to be more than a touch ruthless. Andrew Leonard here alongside Sachin Timilsina on the first day of this. That's a marvellous occasion, isn't it, having an Irish team here. Sachin, I think Bertel and Sheikh could get this done quite quickly, or are Ireland going to find some early wickets?
They'll certainly be looking to be aggressive, and I'm sure with the way both of these play. In fact, Kushal Bertel likes smacking everything right from the word go. Asif Sheikh likes taking his time at the center. And if these two get going, you never know, Lenny. We might be looking for an early end to this opening match. First ball, a wide delivery to start with.
Yeah, Fionn Hand it is opening the bowling for Ireland. He'll certainly be wanting to use this tour as a launching pad back into the senior side selection. We saw him play that test match in Lords last year. Has played quite a few T20 internationals, most famously at the T20 World Cup. Getting the big wicket of Ben Stokes with a beauty at the MCG as Ireland beat England famously in 22. Pace on the ball can travel here at this ground, and the occasion proving a bit much for Ireland. It should have been a single, but a misfield from Cade Carmichael lets through the first boundary from the first legal delivery.
They'll have to be careful here. They're only defending 121. As Lenny mentioned, that this has been a nervous start for the Ireland Wolves. Should have only been a single. Has given away 3 extra runs. You mentioned Ireland defeating England. That has happened before as well, Lenny. 2011 World Cup, where Kevin O'Brien played that magical innings and got England through, got Ireland through. England were defeated out of nowhere and they were shocked. In fact, that was, I think, one of the greatest associate performances in the ICC events.
Yeah, certainly right up there, wasn't it? Famous day, March 2nd in Bangalore. There's the misfield from Carmichael. Oh dear, won't have played in front of crowds like this before. Fionn Hand will have, but some of his teammates, particularly the 21-year-old Carmichael down there, he's almost more of a backward point, isn't he? Deep backward point as opposed to a deep third. Probably have 3,500 in, and remember, action again tomorrow. Hopefully an even bigger crowd there. 1 p.m. start. Get those tickets in advance on IME Pay.
That economy rate there, 16.67. Only 3 deliveries bowled. Brilliant delivery. That had a hint of swing as well, went away from the batter. Asif Sheikh. 4-4 for him. It's in fact Kushal Bertel. 4 runs to his name. A quick single taken. This pair is so very dangerous. It's not just the boundary striking from this pair. They run in between the wickets really quick. Kushal Bertel likes being aggressive right from the word go. Some issue with the graphics. It's Kushal Bertel who scored runs, and Asif Sheikh will face his first delivery now.
I think Fionn Hand, maybe alongside Ross Adair, could prove to be a bit of a fan favourite. The Nepali fans tend to take players in under their wings, don't they? You think of the likes of Aki Bilias of Oman. They loved Jan Nicol Lofty-Eaton's amazing knock. Fionn Hand, very charismatic chap. Starts pretty well despite that misfield. 6 runs come from his first over. It's 6 for none.
Center. Perfect. Coming right arm over.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Liam McCarthy to open the bowling alongside Fionn Hand. Railway Union Cricket Club all-rounder. It's 4 domestic sides, the first class or the List A set up in Ireland, and McCarthy has made his name for the Munster Reds. Quite a few of the players based in Leinster. Leinster tends to be, well, historically certainly the strongest province, so they have to go in search of other areas for opportunities. So he's made the move down to Cork, down to Munster. Had a really good domestic season last year. I thought he batted nicely too. Was probably a bit unlucky to be given out LBW.
Absolutely one of few batters from the Irish side to get to that double figure. Only 4 of them managed to get beyond that score of 10. It was a problem for the Ireland Wolves. Could only manage 121. They'll have to pick up quick wickets here. Yoked him up. McCarthy bowling to Asif Sheikh.
You think of the kind of the historic success of Ireland's bowling attacks. It's mainly been based around their seamers, and that's with due respect to the great spinners that Ireland have had in years gone by. The Kyle McCallans, the Regan Wests, the George Dockrells. Certainly not including myself in that category, Sachin, even though you're trying to goad it out of me. And it was the seamers that really drove Ireland to that first Test victory. Barry McCarthy, Craig Young, Mark Adair, player of the match, outstanding. So it's interesting to see they've gone quite seam heavy here, despite the fact they have 3 spinners as well. Thought we could see Matthew Humphries opening the bowling.
They've always been rich with pacers, isn't it, Andrew? With good height, they come in steaming in. And Nepal slowly building that capability of facing good pacers. We struggled against bouncers. We've gone much better now, the Nepali side. Played on the up. Very good shot. This time the fielder cuts it off. Will only be 2 runs.
I think that's Ben White down there. Again, it's that position that's become a little bit more in vogue in the modern T20 game. They don't go with the deep third. Third tends to be up in the circle. So you can see it here. It's almost a very backward deep point, and I think it is Ben White. He does really, really well.
It is Ben White who saved that boundary, only 2 runs. And a comfortable start this for Nepal. They're getting some runs as well. Oh, that jumped out of nowhere. He bent his back and got that bounce. Kushal Bhurtel was not comfortable at all.
Yeah, good bounce, isn't there? Back of a length. Bhurtel does well, really, to avoid it. Best case result there would have been maybe an outside edge past the keeper. The gloves for Ireland, we see Stephen Doherty. Again, has that multifaceted approach to his game. Opening batter, keeper as well. As this is slashed away again out towards White, who again does brilliantly well. Could have been a couple of boundaries in the over, instead 2 good bits of fielding have saved at least a couple of runs. 12 for none.
Throw for none, Asif Sheikh. Taking his time at the center. Kushal also looking watchful today. He's not playing that paddle sweep, at least up front. He loves playing that shot. Has been dismissed, attempting that shot quite a number of times, Andrew.
Yeah, certainly it's a shot you think of Bim Sharkey playing quite a lot as well in the ODI stuff. Hero or villain stroke, isn't it? And that's much more like it. Stand and deliver. Inside out, over, extra, and all the way for 6. What a strike from Asif Sheikh. Might be a little shorter that side, but smashed out of the ground. The first maximum of the chase.
This has actually shocked Fionn. It's a very good shot, inside out. The timing was perfect, and he knew that the ball would go all the way right from the word go. For 6 for the Nepali side.
And tries to repeat the dose. Oh, this is glorious. It's going to be a couple of bounces and into the rope, but a lovely 1-2 salvo from Asif Sheikh. Over cover for 6 and straight down the ground for 4.
This pair does not know how to give a slow start. They like getting aggressive. This was pitched up and timed it so very well. He didn't look to overhit it. Made sure that the ball would go past the fielder in the circle, over the fielder in the circle. And a boundary to follow the massive hit.
Now a clip shot, a nice pickup into the leg side. It's going to be 4 more. I did worry about pace on the ball for the Irish Wolves against the quality of Sheikh and Bertel. The home fans, they're loving it.
Loves playing this shot, Asif Sheikh. Picked off his pads. I think that was picked from the line of off stump. And he has timed it to perfection. 3 boundaries in a row, 3 consecutive boundaries. And as we said, the Nepali openers, they want to finish this in a hurry.
And now Neil Rock, the captain, comes over to Fionn Hand. Fionn had a wonderful preparation for this tour. Wasn't involved in the squads in the UAE, but did get an agreement with. Oh, we've got a commentary camera. There we are. Maybe come up and say hello after this ball. Don't want to see my armpit, I don't think. He was down with the Mumbai Indians in Mumbai training. And that has so nearly bowled him. Just holds its line this time. So come on up and say hello on commentary cam. We'll say a big warm hello up here. No, we won't. We'll have a look at this.
He tried to go across the line, Asif Sheikh this time. The ball missed the stump by a whisker. Getting a little too fancy, and Andrew, mind you, that it's still Holi from where Asif Sheikh belongs. Nepal has 2 days of Holi, one in the north and one in the south, and it's Holi today in the southern part of the country. Pulls it for a single, and end off an expensive over for the Ireland Wolves, 27 for none after 3.
No, we don't have the gun store like this. One is some sort of foot. Yeah, we do deep mid. No, we can't throw, we can't throw. Here we go. 2 points, please. More, just sit on the ring. Yeah. Come on, Jake.
Nepal taking on Ireland Wolves, and introduction of spin for the first time. It's Gareth Delaney will bowl against Asif Sheikh, who's looking to celebrate Holi today as well.
Yeah, the Terai region, isn't it? Down the southern belt, not just south of Nepal, but also the north of India.
Come on, G!
So a very happy Holi to everyone who celebrated yesterday, but particularly today.
A bit of spin, come on.
Down in Bhairawa, Nepal Gunj, all of the southern belt. There's plenty of cricket down there too, isn't there? Delaney will have his work cut out against these two now. Starts nicely. I think it might have been a googly. If not, it's just skidded on. And Sheikh does well to get the bat down in time.
Awesome, guys. Great start, Paul.
He was expecting a leg spinner, Asif Sheikh, and deceived Asif completely.
Great start,
Delaney this
guys,
time. It was a top spinner almost. It came back to Asif Sheikh, almost straightened. Skated as well, and this was a nothing delivery. Oh, you can't bowl there. Welcome runs by Nepal. They'll take any runs off the bat, off the extras.
It's a baptism of fire, this, for the Irish Wolves. They're playing against a side that is excellent in these conditions and has had the most brilliant 15 months or so, or 14 months under Monty Desai. And that's not good enough from Gareth Delaney. It's a poor delivery, it's down the leg side. Stephen Doherty can't get a glove on it. And the last thing you need is 5 wides. Those fans in the crowd are loving every second of this.
How often have we described the crowd here in Nepal? The fanaticism always in the high. They love their cricket. For a moment you'd think that this is only the Ireland A side, but mind you, this is a very strong team. 9 out of the 15 players in the squad have already represented the Ireland senior side. So the crowd getting excited will have increased number of spectators in the matches to follow. Exciting times for Nepali cricket.
This is pretty full, pretty straight and good enough. How Ireland needed that. Durga Subedi had no hesitation in getting the finger up. Sheikh looked to sweep. It was maybe another one that's just skidded on, and he thinks it's adjacent enough. Sheikh is gone.
Lost his concentration for a while. Asif Sheikh missed this ball completely, and an easy decision. The ball would have crashed on to the middle stump. It did not hesitate at all. And the score after this massive wicket, the big dismissal of Asif Sheikh, is now 32 for 1.
Right-hander. Right arm over. I don't think so. Guys!
Road Powell, the national team captain, to the crease at number 3. Well, Ireland were in real trouble of things getting quite ugly there, turning against them in a big way. And they do love Road Powell at this ground. He'll come in at number 3. Just try to probably start quite slowly, I'd imagine, and allow Kushal Bertel to score quickly.
Come on, Garrett, spin it past the outside edge, boy. Boy, yes, G.
Definitely spin to win here at this ground, isn't it? And Neil Rock had to turn to Delaney as early here as a 4th over.
Yes, guys, yes, guys.
It's good thinking as well
Come on, lads, bang, bang.
from
2
the
wickets
Irish
here,
captain,
come
Neil Rock.
20 for 3, boys.
He realized that the Nepali batters were playing medium pieces quite easily. Massive appeal, and another wicket falls down, this time off the big fish. Rohit Paudil, the skipper, has been dismissed of the second delivery that he has faced. Ireland will certainly now back into this game.
Well, 1 brings 2. They needed the first one, and I won't lie, they needed this second one too. It's the extra bounce from Delaney. It's just skidded on, and a really good catch. It's an excellent piece of glove work from Stephen Doherty. Neil Rock is the other option with the gloves, but the captain is choosing to give them over to his former Rush Cricket Club teammate. Ireland have 2 in the over. Delaney's got both of them, and Road Powell has gone for a second ball duck. It's 32 for 2.
Come on, boys. Three in the over, lads. Come on. Do you want to stay in the ring? Yeah. Cover, long on. 3 in the set, boys, eh? Yes. How about it, lads? Center. Okay, you. Let's go. Ready. Ding over. Ding over.
So Ireland have a window. Not ahead of the game by any stretch. It's only 122 they're defending. But Gareth Delaney, who's got all that senior experience, he's very much playing really as a leg spinner for the national team, who bats at 7 and 8 and hits it down the order. Brought into the attack after a horror show, 5 wides. Gets 2 wickets and 3 balls. Gulshan Jan at number 4. This order has been a bit of a movable feast for Nepal in recent times.
Awesome, G.
Love from Sudur Pashchim, that's the far west province. Has produced plenty of cricketers, including Dipendra Singh Airi, Binod Bhandari. Cricket is really big in that part of the country.
Oh, yes.
I agree, Andrew. We'll come back to the conversation about Nepali middle order.
Come on, Benny.
32 for 2. A successful over of Delaney comes to an end.
Guys, 2 slip. Come on the wheel, fella.
Come on there, boys.
Yes,
Get in
Wheelo.
there.
Yeah, I think that line's okay. One change to me, right, come over.
Whitey.
Well, then now some rebuilding needed for the Nepali side. Left-hand, right-hand combination in play. Gulshan Jha
You're fine,
will
lad,
be
yeah.
accompanying Kushal Burtil, who was the silent partner in that opening partnership. Usually he is the one who is the aggressor.
Keep it straight.
Ireland learning quickly here. Spin to win at the TU International Cricket Ground, so it's going to be Ben White to bowl leg breaks in tandem with Gareth Delaney.
Oh, my
A
word.
little bit of bounce again. Both of these spinners, particularly Ben White, he's much taller than he looks.
Yes, Wheelo.
Probably about 6'3", 6'4", the son of a former New Zealand All Black, a rugby player. Came over to Ireland in the late 1980s, met Ben's mother in Dublin. Produced a wonderful cricketer in Ben White. Thought he was excellent in the UAE, maybe the pick of Ireland's attack actually across those three T20Is. A player of the match, 4 for 20, career best figures against Afghanistan in that win in the first game.
And because of his height, he's sure to get some extra bounce off the track. And if that happens, it'll be bigger trouble for the Nepali batters. And they'll have to rethink about their approach. They only need 89 runs. Runs not an issue at all for the Nepali batters. They'll need to build a partnership here.
Benny White, come on, pal.
That's a googly. I see lots of googlies from White to the left-handers. He pulled an absolute perler over the wicket, getting it to pitch it just outside the leg stump, hitting the top of off. Fine young bowler, Ben White. This middle order, though, continues to, I guess, almost offer too many options for Nepal. Jha slashes this one away over the offside. Will get 4. Promoted up the order. No Kushal Malla yet. It's the left-handed Jha who gets his first boundary.
Very capable with the bat. Gulshan Jha, a perfect all-rounder that Nepal has had. He's bowled today as well. And this is, I think, the right approach, because against Netherlands and Namibia, Gulshan was looking to hammer everything towards the onside. And he's pretty capable towards the offside as well.
Benny White.
This allows him to play with the turn or against the turn, gives him more options. And I think this approach is correct one.
Another googly. And chip to point, who takes the simplest of catches. Cade Carmichael holds on. Ireland's leg spinners of Nepal in a tangle. And they found 3 wickets inside the first 5 overs. Game on here.
Absolutely, Lenny. Gulshan Jha, a little too casual here. He did not try to go over the top as well. The power was certainly not there. The fielder placed at that position for the same reason. And an easy catch. Straight to the fielder. Nepal lose their 3rd wicket.
Yeah, it's Gulshan Jha, the latest to be dismissed. He's gone for 4. Nepal have got themselves in a bit of trouble. It's 37 for 3.
Come here, Wheelo. Come on, boy. Only going to get harder here, fellas.
Well then, the Ireland Wolves, they'll certainly be thinking that they are in the game. They pick up the 3rd wicket, a big wicket off Gulshan Jha. But we all know that Nepal bat really deep, and Sandeep Zora comes into the bat. He'll have to prove his mettle as well. Sandeep Zora has had plenty of opportunities, but hasn't converted them into big scores.
Yeah.
Googly to start with from White, showing all his variety. Good start for him. 5 have been bowled, 37 for 3.
Benny, great over, pal.
Good with Gaz here, lad.
Yeah. Oh, guys. Good top spin. Come on, Gaz and D. Yeah, boy. Come on, lads.
That's what he looked
Come on
for.
here.
No, I'm happy for him, but that's what he looked for, isn't it?
Yes, guys. Yes, guys.
Yeah, there's the... Okay, back live with you now. I've only just got a quick look at that potential batting order, what to come. You heard Monty Desai talk about a want for stability. Does that stability that he's looking for surely apply to the batting order as well? There's almost too many options.
Absolutely, and I think that's confusing our batters as well, because when your rule is not clear, it certainly shows on the scorecard. Sandeep Zora there, 3 wickets fell so far, Rohit, Gulshan and Asif. They'll have to fix the batting order really very soon, because Nepal are playing 2 massive tournaments.
Come on, boys, hey!
I think if you look at Sandeep Jora's recent innings, he's batted everywhere from number 5 all the way down, maybe to number 8. Think about the pair of Kushal Malla. It's going to angle down, miss the leg stump, just a stifled appeal. Really, for me, numbers 3 to 9 could almost go in any order. Problem is, outside of the 2 openers who remain the same, as you see it, missing leg. And then your numbers 10 and 11 will be Rajbanshi and Bahara. Everyone else could go anywhere in that order.
Was there to be hit. Sandeep Zora, a big heave, didn't connect it at all. Absolutely, and Lenny, only Lalit and Avinash Bora, 2 of the batters, 2 of the players were not known much for their batting, or else everybody else pretty capable with the bat. Karan Casey has won Nepal plenty of matches, in fact more than plenty with the bat. Sompal Kami as well.
Yeah, certainly 2 fine batters to have coming in down at what will probably be number 8 and 9. Yeah, just looking back, Jora batted 6 in the first game of the Tri-Series, then he was left out for the second. Didn't play the third either, and then I think he might have got back in for the final. In fact, he wasn't used in the final either. It was Arif Sheikh who was being used in that role all the way down at number 8 and number 9. So questions to answer for Nepal with their batting order. It's the end of the power play, and Nepal in a bit of trouble. 38 for 3.
6 from us here, fellas.
They have lost 3 wickets, and the leg spinners, the Ireland Wolves, doing a great job. You could just see the fall of wicket out there. They just lost it. We're just talking about lapse in concentration. Wilson Zaha was looking confident, but after that, a simplest of delivery to get rid of Gulshan Jha. Just played with soft hands on Sandeep Jora. This is what they could do at the moment. They could just rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking, and build a partnership from here, Sachin.
Yeah, all over it there, okay?
121, not a big score at all, but these low scores can be tricky, and we've seen low scores being defended at this venue, and the crowd, they want Nepal to win this as soon as possible. Ireland A versus Nepal. Ireland Wolves, they're famously called. Played with soft hands. An overthrow will allow the Nepali batters. Is not amused. Miss. They've allowed Nepali batters to take a single. It should have been a dot delivery. And every run matters, Ayush, especially when you're defending only 121.
Well, absolutely, you're just defending 121 and you need to be quick in the field. You need to stop those overthrows, giving easy runs to your opponent. 3 singles in this over so far. A good delivery could just nip that ball back into Sandeep Johra. We have seen Sandeep Johra struggling against the ball that is just nipping back towards him.
And Tom Mace looks a really good bowler as well. He bowls in, he comes in hard, gets that ball to come in with the angle. Portal and Sandeep Johra at the center. Lost wickets early up, Nepal. Dot delivery again.
We're talking about Tom Mace. He has that height. He can generate that bounce from the wicket. But it would be interesting to see a pacer coming in from the Chova end, because we have seen those patches. If you're batting from the TU end. A good over so far. This is how you could just apply that pressure over the Nepalese side, and it's a decent total. They're just chasing 122, but it's all about the approach when you are chasing a decent total.
Slow delivery, change in pace. Adjusted well. Sandeep Johra. And a tight over this by Tom Mace. Only 4 runs off the 7th over. 42 for 3 is the score.
Okay, please. I'll do extra more. Morning change, right arm over. What about even these two? Not 2, I think it's 3 here. Yeah, I don't mind. Bring him up. Flubber!
42 for 3. Kushal Bhutel at the center. Sandeep Johra accompanying him. And it has been a really good performance from the leg spinners. The 2 leg spinners in the Irish side. Gareth Delany got 2 wickets in a single over, and Ben White has been amazing as well with the ball. Very full. Wanted to slice it towards the offside, in between that gap between point and gully fielder. As I said, very, very full. Almost had to dig it out. Failing to do so. A dot delivery. This is a heave. Oh, dropped it. Was a very, very easy catch. It's Liam McCarthy who was dropped a sitter. Ben White cannot believe it. Wasn't a good shot from the bat of Sandeep Johra at all. Oh, this should have been 43 for 4, 42 for 4 in fact for the Ireland's liking. But this is a sitter, an absolute sitter. Straight into his hand and out of it. A lucky escape here for Sandeep Johra.
Lucky escape for Sandeep Johra. That was just pressure, just trying to go after Ben White. You sense that pressure being applied in Sandeep Johra. They're just trying to go after Ben. Will you not be happy, Sachin? It was an easy catch.
How often have you seen Nepali top order batters struggle against spinners at this venue? Not very often, Ayush. Has been tremendous bowling this from the leg spinning duo.
This time again forcing Sandeep Johra to play that shot around that 4th stump, 5th stump. He has got a pretty decent action. Sachin, if you look at Ben White, the release point of Ben White, the height that he has, to just generate that piece from the wicket as well. Generate that bounce.
Again, very full, and this time the timing is there, the placement is there, and a much needed boundary for Sandeep Zora. He was struggling at the center, was dropped in the earlier part of this over. This was bowled really full and middled the ball perfectly, and a boundary towards the extra cover region for Sandeep Zora.
Come on, Wheelo.
Brilliant placement. This time the googly just nipping back in. Back towards Sandeep Jora. Well, that's the end of 8 over. Nepal 48 for 3.
Yes, Jobs. Yeah, you're okay.
All right, Matthew Humphries with his slow left-arm orthodox bowling. And at this point of time, Ireland were in a better position. The Ireland Wolves, they were 51 for 1, Nepal 51 for 3, Nepal 48 for 3.
Oh, yes, Hump.
Hasn't been a dream start for the Nepali batters at all. The top order struggling.
Lovely that, Hump.
Rohit Paudel dismissed in the second delivery. And then Gulshan Jha was out cheaply as well. Was a nothing delivery that. Was short, was wide, was there to be punished, but hit it straight into the hands of the point fielder. And now added responsibility on the shoulders of Kushal Burtil.
Brilliant, Hump.
Short again, wide, was there to cut. Straight to the fielder. 1 run to Kushal Burtil.
Well, one thing good that the Irish bowlers are doing at the moment is they have learned from the first innings. They are giving that pace in the ball. They are forcing the batsmen to generate that pace and play those strokes. We have seen in the catch that was being dropped of Sandeep Jora as well. There was no pace in it. And this is one thing that they have learned from the first innings. And we could just see Humphries as well. He's not offering that pace, trying to create that room, Sandeep Jora, for himself. That angle just coming back in.
Lovely bowling.
This is what I was mentioning, Ayush. How often have you seen Nepali batters struggle against spinners at this venue? I don't remember plenty of occasions as such. The spinners have stopped the run making. 73 needed of 69. You still fancy Nepal to be the favorite here. Cut again, only a single. But the point is, Ayush, Nepal have struggled today. 50 for Nepal. Reduced to the score of 50 now. Humphries
Matthew.
has conceded 2 runs in the first 4 balls. All he has to do is replicate what the previous spinners have done. 2 magical bowlers today, Kirat Jalani and Ben White.
This time, once again, the story has been seen. He knows that he should not offer that pace to Kushal Burtel. And one thing good about this over, we have seen wickets coming in is Sachin, that they are trying to apply that pressure over the new batsman. You could just see a slip in place when Sandeep Jora was batting previously. Now they have removed it for Kushal Burtel. There's no slip in place. Neil Rock knows it. They need to take the wicket.
The crowd relaxed. They still feel Nepal is on top. 51 for 3. They'll have to build a partnership whatsoever. Goes inside out this time. Could not find the fence. So that's the end of the 9th over. 52 for 3. Ireland Wolves. So 52 for 3. Nepal not at all getting the start they would have wanted. Did a fantastic job with the ball. Got the Ireland Wolves stuck at 121. Played on the rise. Very good looking shot. The fumble there will allow the Nepali batters to come back for the second run.
Well, a good move there by skipper Neil Rock as well. We're talking about bringing your pacer from the Chova, and you have got that grass patch from the TUN side. But this is a gamble, I guess, Sachin, because the spinners were applying that pressure over both the batsmen, and you've just brought in McCarthy. Sandeep Johra is looking to go after the bowlers. He's not getting that connection.
He's going after the bowler. He goes after the bowler once again, Ayush, and a boundary finally for Sandeep Johra. Takes his individual score to 15 runs, and this was much needed for him. Not to mention that he was dropped. It was a sitter. McCarthy was the culprit, and he allowed Sandeep Johra a chance, and this is what he can do if he's dropped over the fielder. A short cover and a very good shot.
The spinners were applying pressure over both the batsmen, bringing in McCarthy. We're talking about this could be a gamble at the moment because there was pressure applied to the Nepalese batsman. This time, just utilizing his height, generating that bounce from the wicket.
That bounced like a tennis ball. He's not a tall man, Sandeep Johra. And look how high the ball went. It jumped for his bat to get to that delivery, but it went way past his head. As I said, it was almost a tennis ball kind of a bounce. So you mentioned, Ayush, was it a good call to bring in McCarthy? He has already been expensive. He has given away 7 runs in 2 balls. He's very disappointed this time with himself, Sandeep Johra. He went for the shot far too early. Could not time it at all. Hang on, young man. You don't need to do much. It's only 122 that's required.
You just see the fielding position now that you can see backward point, a short cover being placed in, and there's a deep point. McCarthy just trying for that around that 4th stump, 5th stump, offering that room to Sandeep Johra. He has placed that field. Once again, he's trying for that delivery, but this time Sandeep Johra gets that boundary. He's looking now, he's getting that confidence, Sachin, after that boundary we're talking about.
Exactly what you mentioned, Ayush. Was this a good choice for the Irish captain to bring in McCarthy? Seems it's not, because they have let Nepal out of that pressure, climb out of that pressure, which they have done. 2 boundaries, a couple and a wide, 11 runs already off the first 4 deliveries, 4 legal deliveries. 1 was a wide, of course. Driven straight back. Football skills will not allow any run for Sandeep Johra. But this has been a fantastic over for Nepal. They needed a big over to get out of that pressure. They were slowly climbing on top of the Nepali batteries, the Ireland Wolves bowlers. 63 for 3. Nepal will not mind it because they're only chasing 122.
Absolutely. We're talking about the move of bringing a seamer. Last ball of this over has been changed in field. The 3rd man comes up inside the 30-yard circle. Fine leg inside 30-yard circle. There's backward point, short cover, deep point, long on, long off. Played with soft hands. Well, that's the end of 10th over. Nepal 64 for 3.
So 64 for 3. 2 wickets for Delaney, 1 for Ben White. The leg spinners, they've picked up all 3 wickets. I think Captain Neil Rock missed a card of his, bringing back McCarthy when the spinners were doing so well and the Nepali batters were struggling against the spinners. 16 of 11 for Asif Sheikh was LBW bowled out by Delaney. Delaney got another wicket of Rohit Paudel in his second delivery of the over. 4 runs of 5 balls, and Ben White got Gulshan Jha out, and at the centre are Sandeep Zora and the experienced Kusal Burtil. So partnerships, still nothing likely to be mentioned. 21 runs is the partnership. They'll need a bigger partnership. And meanwhile, the Irish team would look to pick up a few more wickets. Stays on the back foot this time, goes over the top of the infield. Sandeep Zora didn't repeat the mistake that Gulshan Jha did. Stood on the back foot and hit it straight into the hands of the fielder at point. Gulshan Jha, that's how he was dismissed.
Now from here, Neil Rock could just use his spinners, because this wicket is helping the spinners, and we have seen Delaney and Ben White. If you look at their over, Delaney have already balled 11 dots, whereas if you talk about Ben White, 8 dot deliveries, and this has been the difference if you compare to the seamers or the spinners. Well, if you are around TU Cricket Ground, you are feeling hungry, you could just come here and enjoy this delicious meal from Value Express.
Gives himself that room. Didn't get the middle of the bat. Kushal Burtal this time, and the slightest of fumbles will allow the Nepali batters to complete the second run. We have plenty of offers as well. Just home 5 in net. That's the replay of the of these 2 runs by this pair, and just home 5 in net comes in with an exciting offer, a mouth-watering offer. Hashtag catch the big offer. As just home 5 in net offers all the Nepalese with unprecedentedly cheap internet with the fastest of speeds. Hashtag catch the big offer. The speed has gone up, and what has come down is the price of it. What a great offer. So catch your offer. Hashtag catch the big offer.
This time trying to play the reverse, and well, it goes out of the ground. Sandeep Zora.
How do you describe this shot? Reverse hit. The ball stuck the middle of his bat. Look at the power of this man. The timing. It has gone all the way. Fantastic strike this. Decided to go with the turn, and the ball has gone to the audiences.
Well, we could just describe that previous shot as an unorthodox brilliance by Sandeep Zora. Well, that's the end of 11th over. Nepal 74 for 3.
So 2 big overs for Nepal. Have put them on the top now, 74 for 3. This partnership slowly building. Sandeep Zora making complete use of that drop catch by McCarthy. He's taken the outside edge of the bat. The ball will run. The third was inside the circle and a boundary. Not at all what Kushal Burtil intended, but boundary nevertheless. He will take them with both the hands.
And we're witnessing a different Kusal Burtil at the moment. Sachin is taking his time. We know that Kusal Burtil loves attacking the bowlers. He loves pace coming in. He's playing according to the situation. He knows that the wickets have been falling continuously from the other end. He needs to stay there.
So 44 needed of 53 with 7 wickets in hand. Nepal certainly the favorite. Dayang Rai there. Nepal's superstar. As I mentioned, he loves cricket. The fanaticism has grown. Premeditated. The ball turned a bit. That's the reason why Kushal Burdal wasn't able to play it fine. Went really square. A run nevertheless. And as you mentioned, Ayush, this is a very different inning from Kushal Burdal. He's usually known to hammer the ballers out of the park. 24 of 23 today. Taking that responsibility.
A brilliant partnership going at the moment for Nepal. Partnership that was needed. A googly. This is what we are talking about from the start. We have seen Sandeep Zora struggling with the ball that is coming towards him. Be it the seamers or the spinners. We have seen Sandeep Zora struggling.
And I think Captain Rock missed the trick as well. When the spinners were bowling really well, I think in a low-scoring match you should go for wickets. A very, very optimistic appeal that from Ben White. That would have surely missed the 6th stump. Let's have a look at this in the replay. That stuck the pad way outside the line of off stump. Sometimes the bowlers, they only appeal to put pressure in the mind of the umpire. Easily done this, a single.
Well, you could just sense that desperation for wicket in that optimistic appeal. But a much needed partnership going on at the moment. They needed it. Nepal, we have been talking about the change in batting order.
Come here, lads. Keep going there, fellas.
Very different approach this by Kushal Burdal. Ben White bowled really well today, especially in the first over of his. 2 full this time. Hammered down the ground. They'll settle for a single. And that brings us to the end of the 12th over. 3 down for 82, the Ireland Wolves.
Let's go, lads. 3 here. Great yards, Jobber. Great yards. Come on, lads. Get him 5 down, boys.
Well, the skipper just using that trick, just bringing in spinners. He knows that the seamers have not been able to find that correct line and length. The spinners have been doing their job pretty well. The wicket is supporting them.
Don't want to be a new man coming in here.
The
Come on,
Irish
boys.
team would be definitely looking to break this partnership.
One little mistake here.
Well, that 1 over from McCarthy, where he was bowling in from the Chova end, gave that momentum to the Nepalese side.
Well bowled. Well bowled. Yes, home.
Yes.
So the Irish side, they'll need wickets now. 1 may not be enough. This partnership slowly taking the match away from them. They needed a great start with the ball. They got 1 as well, but they could not carry on with that momentum. Down the ground, easily played. 1 more single. And Kushal Burdal has presented a different side of his today. Hasn't been overtly aggressive.
Come, guys.
He's played according to the merit of the delivery, and Sandeep Zora, his batting at 29 to 30, took some time for himself to settle in. This is a brilliant hit, straight down the ground, out of the ground. Oh, this is a humongous hit. It was bowled full, all right. But this blow off the bat of Sandeep Zora, tremendous hit. Let's have a look at this. Straight over the side screen. Where does it land? A massive, massive strike this.
Easy pickings for Sandeep Zora. If it's in his arc, the ball will go out of the park. Well, 32 required of 45 deliveries.
Get it, G.
Well, this is what you could do against Sandeep Zora. Just try those
Awesome
googlies
efforts, that, G.
against him. We've seen him struggling. We've been talking about that as well, coming in
Awesome, guys.
towards him. But a much needed partnership for Nepal's side. But Ireland will definitely be looking to break this partnership if they want to bring that momentum towards themselves, Sachin.
Brilliant, Gaza. Awesome line.
Ireland will need something miraculous from here, Ayush, if they want to snatch this match back from Nepal, because at this point of time, Nepal 90 for 3. They only need 32 runs to win. Just over 7 overs in hand.
Touch.
A single to end the 13th over, 91 for 3.
Come on, boys, get around. Come on. Keep going.
Go. 31 runs required from 42 deliveries. A brilliant partnership going in middle for the Nepalese side, Sandeep Zora and Kusal Burtel. 54 runs partnership in 49 deliveries. The major contributor, Sandeep Zora, was struggling at the start but got that confident. But a different version of Kusal Burtel that we are witnessing at the moment. We have seen Kusal struggling against the spinners. He loves peace. Coming in towards him. Well, there's a change in commentary box as well. Oh, wicket. This is what it was needed. It was a slower of delivery. Sandeep Zora just trying to play that shot. And after Laney just comes back in the commentary box, Ireland Wolves have broken that partnership.
Well, I try never to use this expression because we don't have it back in Ireland, but the look of the Irish. Maybe a little sign there for Tom Mays. Very cleverly bowled. Off cutter. High in his gather. Wraps his index finger right over the ball. And it's a good catch again. Stephen Doheney's had a good day. 46 with the bat now and 2 very good takes with the gloves. And that gives Ireland maybe just a small window. The game still being taken away from them thanks to that drop from McCarthy down at long off. Jorda's gone. Can't get a second life for 36. It's 91 for 4. Dipendra Singh Irie to the crease. The Tiger, very much a fan favourite. Got a big cheer once you were on commercial break there. Really surprised not to see Kushal Maliyat hidden all the way down at maybe number 7 or 8.
Well, absolutely. There's been change in the batting order. Look at the delivery. Off cutter, just trying to slash that. Good work there by Doheny. He has been so good with the gloves so far. Dipendra Singh Irie, the new batsman in. Well, a different version of Kusal Burtel, you guess, Lenny?
Yeah, he's battled a bit, isn't he? Happens sometimes at the top. Good piece of fielding this time at backwards point. It's Ross Adair going to his weaker side. He'll bowl left-handed, he'll throw left-handed, but he'll bat right-handed. Former professional rugby player. Yeah, look, I think Nepal will get home. I think they should get home comfortably enough. But there's been, well, maybe a few questions for them with the bat. Not so much with the ball in the field. They were excellent there. Let's see, 15 runs the difference between the two sides at this stage. But certainly with the bat, there's problems. Good piece of fielding down at deep third. Morgan Topping gets his body on the line to save a few. And yeah, for Bertel, he's probably just not in his best form. So he's spending some time in the middle. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, absolutely. A brilliant fielding effort out there. Well, you could catch all the highlights in Cricket Association of Nepal social media. Well, we are witnessing great reels in recent time. Dipendra Singh Airi. Driven. You could just sense something when Dipendra Singh Airi is there in the crease. We have seen that Lenny for a long period of time as well. The scoreboard keeps on ticking because he has that ability to just convert those singles into doubles. He's very attacking when he's playing those shots. A risky player, Dipendra Singh Airi. But absolutely talking about Kushal Bhurtelli, just enjoying that time in the crease, trying to get that form.
Another little cutter from Mays, who's just come back nicely for his second over as a wicket. And although Dipendra Singh Airi wants the second, Bertel sends him back. And the 4 runs from the 14th over. Nepal 95 for 4. So for Ireland, just trying to drag this out as much as they can. Maybe can they find a 5th or a 6th wicket? It's fair to say Ben White's probably been the pick of the bowlers as well.
Well, absolutely. Ben White has been bowling those dot deliveries pretty well. He's applying that pressure. If you talk about the Nepalese side, there has been so many changes in the batting order. I guess this is what we were talking about from the morning, that Coach Monty Desai trying to find that stability in the batting order. But you have that sort of player who could bat at any position that Lenny was also talking about, apart from the openers and the 2 bowlers.
Well done, Kay.
I don't think those figures do Ben White justice. He easily should have had a 2nd wicket, could have had a 3rd as well. He's just come back from a stress fracture. They're back. All of the talk leading into that T20I series in the UAE was about Rashid Khan, understandably. One of the biggest stars of the world game. But for Ireland to get one of their foremost leg spinners back, for me, Delaney is still learning. I know he's had some good numbers, particularly in the T20 World Cup in 2022. I think Ben White has the potential to be your premier wrist spinner in the country. But this time, Dipendra Singh Airi gets underneath one, and that has gone high, handsome, it's gone miles. The Tiger cashes in with a terrific blow down the ground for 6. The 100's up.
Well, a brilliant shot there by Dipendra Singh Airi. Ben White, we're just talking about, look at the delivery. We're just trying to find that length. It was a gift to Dipendra Singh Airi, a lower full toss. Well, Ben White knew it from the moment it struck the bat, that it's going out of the ground. Well, for a new batsman, you're just joining the crease and you get this sort of full toss. This is just a confidence booster. But one good thing about Neil Rock captaincies today, he has been that attacking captaincy. Lenny, we have seen that slip in place, trying to apply that pressure over the new batsman.
It's the googly into the back of the hand. You'll see it clearly from your screens at home. You'll see the ball rather than the back of the palm. Now, it's more difficult for the batter facing. It's always easier to pick a googly from behind. So this time, if it's the leg break, you see it on release, you'll see the back of the hand. It is the leg break and chipped down the ground for just a single. Yeah, I think Ireland will take plenty from today, but they're going to be roundly beaten.
We're talking about understanding the conditions pretty well after the first game. After this game, they've understood the condition. We could just sense it while they were bowling in, the spinners coming into ball. Once again, it was a googly. But talking about Ben White action, Lenny, it's a decent action when it comes to the wrist. At the last moment, he just changes his wrist, and as a bowler, you'd always have that advantage while bowling to just deceive the batsman.
His real strength has been in this shortest format. I think many were surprised when he got a couple of test matches in Sri Lanka in very difficult conditions out there. Not a huge amount of success, but he bowls stump to stump. Just like that, at a very good flat pace. So much more difficult with the red ball to garner success, but he's very consistent with the white ball, and that's going to end his 4-over spell. He will finish with 4 overs, 1 for 27. Nepal 105 for 4.
Keep going, boys, come on. Wheelo. Hope you're in the ring. Wheelo, leave it up here. Let's go. Right arm over. No, drop.
Gareth Delaney will bowl his 4th, 2 wickets for him.
Create a bit of chaos here,
Economical
come on.
as well. Very different kinds of bowlers. It's interesting, isn't it? They're both wrist spinners, no doubt. Even though they're both flat through the air, just got 3 or 4 overs sitting with Jagat Tamata, the Nepal under-19 head coach, while I was off air. And he was really surprised by how fast Ireland spinners were bowling, and that's probably a byproduct of having played a little bit more in different conditions to these ones. We saw Mala and Kushal Bertel being very slow through the air, even sometimes Raj Banshi being teasing and tempting too. Something you'll learn as you get used to the surfaces. Predominantly, they've been very flat, haven't they, as a trajectory, Ireland spinners.
Well, absolutely. Delaney and Ben White bowling with those flatter trajectory, not offering that loop in the ball, not giving that enough time. Look at Devendra Singh Airi just trying to go after Delaney, not get that connection.
And it's really well played. He's got it very, very straight. Good use of the feet. He's got such quick feet, doesn't he? Devendra Singh Airi, he knows the ball's going to be flat, runs at Delaney, smashes it down the ground for 4.
Just look at that restore coming into play. And there was an effort, but could not stop the ball. The power, we could just sense it. Devendra Singh Airi just using his wrist. Just trying to create that room for himself. Well, look at Devendra Singh Airi. He's already down half of the crease, looking for that run.
I just love the energy, the vibrancy, the athleticism and skill that he brings. I think it's a difficult puzzle to work out for Nepal, this batting order. Look at the speed. I think he'd have got home for 2 here comfortably. Bertel said, no, please don't. I don't think it's easy for them to know from 3 to 8, let's say. 3 to 7 in particular, what way to put the jigsaw together. Have to remember there's such a difference between this format and ODI cricket. So the best spots for some batters in ODIs will be completely different. And this is cut away now. He's toying with Delaney, these two, Bertel and Airi. Nicely played. Bertel gets his strike rate above 100 for the first time in the innings. 4 more.
Well, Kushal Bhurtel just playing that shot. Ball was around that 4th stump reason. Just using his wrist pretty well. The fielder was inside the 30-yard circle. Just toying with the field, Kushal Bhurtel. A different Kushal Bhurtel, which I was just talking about. This time a full toss, swept it. And it will reach the boundary. Back-to-back boundary for Kushal Bhurtel.
Well, not a good over, I have to say, from Gareth Delaney. And something we saw, I know these 2 boundaries have come from Bertel, but it's driven by the energy, the enthusiasm of Airi. And all of a sudden, Nepal are just 1 away. It's that one delivered, the Mart Watt-esque delivery from 23, 24 yards, but turns into a juicy full toss. And this is all going to be over in a matter of seconds for Nepal. They're going to go 1-0 up in this series. And Kushal Bertel says, you hit the winning runs, Devendra Singh Airi. 16 bowled, 118 for 4.
Come here, lads. Come on, Bezo.
Well, 4 runs required now for Nepal to just win this game and go 1 up in the series. Dipendra Singh Aire and Kushal Bhurtel. Let's just look at Dipendra Singh Aire, 16 of 11 deliveries. Kushal Bhurtel just playing run-a-ball innings. He's staying there in the crease, taking that responsibility from one end. A 27-run partnership from 17 deliveries. You could just sense it, like after Dipendra Singh Aire just came in.
Just 4 to win here for Nepal to start the series in fine style. Nairi wanted to finish it with 1 blow, and that's what he's going to do. What a cameo from the Tiger himself. 20 off 12 balls and a smile on his face. So too Kushal Bhurtel's. Well, the journey to the T20 World Cup, it started here today for Nepal in Kathmandu in fine style. It's a 6-wicket victory. They've done it at a canter. The Irish Wolves have been beaten out of sight. And that's the winning moment for Dipendra Singh Aire.
Dipendra Singh Aire just going with the field, hitting that winning run. He knows it, he's just linking it to Kushal Bhurtel. Did not connect that ball pretty well, but it was the power and the placement. But you need to give credit to the way Ireland came back in the game, picked up that 3 crucial wicket. The spinners were just doing their job pretty well. Different conditions for them. It's freezing cold out there in Ireland, coming in to Nepal for the first time, as we were mentioning in the first innings as well. An alien type of condition. You win the toss and electing to bat first. Just understanding the conditions, but the spinners have done the job pretty well. It's a strong Irish side. And Nepal winning the game by 6 wickets. And you can just see Kushal Bhurtel playing that not out innings. We're talking about Kushal Bhurtel looking for his form. And a happy Nepali side.
Yeah, really comprehensive. I think Ireland will have enjoyed the experience. They'll have learnt an awful lot. Well, I'm not sure if they win the toss tomorrow whether or not they'll be batting first. But a real sort of baptism of fire for these young men. Plenty of learnings to be taken. Some good performances. Stephen Downey in particular. Ben White, Gareth Delaney with those couple of wickets as well. They're playing against a fine Nepal side who are certainly under this man, Monty Desai, a rejuvenated, remarkable force in all formats. And you would think that this is just the first step towards that T20 World Cup, a massive ACC Men's Premier next month in Oman too, with an Asia Cup spot on the line. But the Nepali Rhinos have left the fans very happy with a comfortable victory.
Well, so much of chopping and changes going on in that lineup from the Canada series. We have seen that Netherlands and Namibia coming in. The batting order has been changing.
Just going to look at the best of the batting highlights here, with the occasional fumble in the outfield as well. Kushal Bhurtel was watchful, and Asif Sheikh played a nice little flourish before he was dismissed. He took a liking to Fionn Hand.
And they had a decent partnership. The opening partnership, he was looking fabulous the way he started off, but we've seen Asif Sheikh struggling against spinners. Look at that moment out there. Brilliant flick shot. Sandeep Johra was struggling at the start, but the way Sandeep Johra took that innings, building that partnership with Kushal Bhurtel at one point of time, the Irish Wolves side was gaining that momentum with 3 wickets. And after that, this partnership that we're talking about, the partnership between Kushal Bhurtel and Sandeep Johra. And Dipendra Singh Aire, after he came in, he just played that aggressive cricket, not giving any time for the bowlers to settle in. It's attacking every bowler, is rotating the strike, going after loose deliveries. Kushal Bhurtel, just a different Kushal Bhurtel that we're talking about, not the natural Kushal Bhurtel that we have seen.
Yes, slightly uncharacteristic innings from Bhurtel. It was one of control. I think one that he's just indicating he wants some time in the middle. Don't think that's a bad thing. Doesn't need to blast away from ball 1. He's ended up with a not out. He's ended up with 37 off 32. It was exactly what the situation required. Aire wanted to get it done in a hurry though, and a flying little 20 off just 12 deliveries, 2 4s and a 6 for him.
You see that batting card, Asif Sheikh, 16 of 11 deliveries after that. Kushal Bhurtel, a brilliant innings from Kushal Bhurtel that we were talking about. The wickets were falling from another end, but Kushal Bhurtel just stayed there, played that calm, composed and a matured innings. And to support him, it was Sandeep Johra who came in, and a brilliant partnership between Kushal Bhurtel and Sandeep Johra. And at the end, it was Dipendra Singh Airi finishing things off with that attacking cricket partnership that what we are talking about. Asif Sheikh and Kushal Bhurtel, 32 of just 20 deliveries after that. An important partnership between Kushal Bhurtel and Sandeep Johra. Sandeep Johra having the highest contributor in that, and Dipendra Singh Airi and Kushal Bhurtel, 31 runs partnership for 18 deliveries.
And there is that renowned lap of honour from Nepal. Always so thankful, so grateful to their fans. We didn't see Kushal Malla, wasn't needed with the bats. Here's the wickets. 4 of them fell. The first one went to Gareth Delaney. It was good enough, and then an excellent catch from Stephen Doheny behind. Gulshan Jha will be a bit disappointed with that one. And a clever little off-cutter again, an excellent catch from Doheny with the gloves. Just the 4 breakthroughs for Ireland. They'll have plenty to reflect upon. Game number 2 in the series, which will come around quickly tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Well, that's the bowling summary for you. 6 bowlers being used, and the pick of the bowlers that we're talking about, the 2 leg spinners, Delaney and Ben White. The fall of wickets, you could just see that Nepal lost 3 wickets in quick succession, and at the end it was Kushal Bhurtel and Dipendra Singh Airi finishing the thing for Nepal. Well, that's it. Nepal won the game by 6 wickets. The first game of Ireland Wolves tour of Nepal, leading the series.
So that will wrap it up for the in-match coverage, but do stay with us. We'll have the post-match presentation with myself, Andrew Leonard, in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere too far. Nepal 1-0 up in the series. Really impressive performance. They win by 6 wickets. award, which is going to be the Degree Malia Striker of the Match. That's going to be presented by Mr. Manny Rampuckle, who's come up and join me on stage. He's the producer of that Degree Malia film. Looking forward to seeing that, my friend. They're going to receive a check for 7,500 rupees. I think this could be popular one. 20 off just 12 balls. It included 2 4s and 1 6. It goes to Dipendra Singh Ari. So Dipendra will receive his check for 7,500 rupees from Mr. Manny Rampuckle and pose for a photo as well. Dippy, great to see you striking in such style as always. Now we're going to have 3 awards all throughout this series. The second award is going to be for the Mansara Most Valuable Player of the Match. And I'd like to call upon my presenter. He's a very familiar face. That's Mr. Dayahang Rai, who's a very famous actor here in Nepal. Great to see you, Dayahang. And thank you for your support. Dandavad. They're going to receive a check for 7,500 rupees. And the bowlers, particularly Nepal's spin bowlers, were exceptional today. He bowled 4 overs, took 2 for 26. It goes to Lalit Rajbanshi. So Lalit's going to receive his check for 7,500 rupees for the Mansara Most Valuable Player of the Match. And pose for a photo as well. Now, we're going to have to wait and see who the player of the match is, because we're going to speak first to both captains, starting with Ireland Wolves captain, Neil Rock. Neil, hard luck out there. Firstly, how was the experience? Your first time ever in Kathmandu, the first Irish side to ever play here. What was it like?
Yeah, it's incredible. Much bigger crowds than we used to back home. So it's a bit of an eye-opener for us and something we'll have to get used to for the series.
Was there a few nerves out there? It felt to me up in the commentary box, a few little fumbles and misfields, maybe a few errant strokes. Was that all part of the process today?
Yeah, I'm sure there was. You know, as I said, it's our first time playing in front of a crowd like that, so it's kind of expected, but can't really be an excuse from going on forward.
In terms of the score, 121 all out, do you feel that was well short of par? What did you want to get to, having won the toss and chosen to bat first?
Initially, it would have been a lot higher than that. Then we probably thought 140, 150 would have given us a real chance. Even then, I did feel we were in the game. We had them 40 for 3, but that was probably down to 2 leg spinners bowling very well rather than the most being anywhere near par, really.
In terms of the positives, Stephen Doheny, I thought, batted really nicely for his 46, and those 2 leg spinners were excellent. It's not going to get any easier for you, straight back into action tomorrow. Can you turn things around against what's a very impressive Nepali side?
Yeah, hopefully. I think we've plenty of room for improvement, which is quite exciting. You know, I think in all 3 facets we can improve. I think I said Stephen played very well, especially it wasn't easy for him. We were losing wickets around him. And then 2 leg spinners were very good as well. It's
great to have you here in Nepal. Hard luck today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Okay, Neil Rock, understandably, a little disappointed after what was a heavy enough defeat. 6 wickets was the margin. Let's speak now to the captain of Nepal. It's Rohit Paudel. Rohit, pretty much a dream performance, particularly with the ball and in the field. Let's start with that. Was that where you want to be at with your bowling and your fielding?
Yeah, I think as a bowling unit, we did a good job, especially restricting Ireland Wolves in 122 runs. I think that was great. And I think as a batting unit, we gave 2-3 wickets. So in that area, we can improve. So yeah.
Tell us about the bowling options you have. You told me at the toss you picked lots of seamers. You didn't bowl too many of them. You bowled lots of spin. Kushal Bertel again with those part-time leg breaks to the 4. Kushal Malla bowled nicely, and Lalit Rajbanshi as effective as ever.
Yeah, we didn't thought that the ball will turn that much, and then after we had options, especially Kushal Dai was there, DP Dai was there, so I think option was always there. And as soon as we thought that wicket is turning, then we went to our spin bowling attack. And yeah, as Kushal Dai, Lalit Dai, Kushal Malla, everyone bowled really well.
The only negative today, potentially, is those slight struggles early with the bat. 37 for 3 after that flying start from Asif Sheikh. Is it almost too many options you have in the middle order? It's kind of a jigsaw puzzle. You don't quite know how to stitch it together. We didn't even see Kushal Malla bat today.
Yeah, I think that is the area where we can improve in today's game, especially mine wicket and then Asif Sheikh's wicket went in the same over, and then after next over I think Gulshan also got out. So I think that is the area where we can improve, and yeah, everyone will not get opportunity in the same game. You're chasing 122 runs, so I think everyone will not get the opportunity, but still whoever got the opportunity, they utilized it.
Finally, just maybe a word for Ireland. It must be fantastic to have a full member nation, a test nation here with their Wolves side. There's plenty of positives for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been a very good team, especially, and I think today's was not their day, but hopefully they'll come back strong in tomorrow's game.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for chatting to me as always. Okay, that's Rohit Paudel, the captain of Nepal. Okay, we've got one award left. It's the big one as well. We're going to call upon, firstly, the presenter of the trophy. If I can get the trophy presenter to come up, that's Mr. Ramesh Sapkota. He's an executive vice president of Dish Home. And this is going to be for the player of the match. And they're also going to receive a cheque for 10,000 rupees in a few moments' time. There's plenty of options, mainly from the Nepal end, but with his leg spin bowling, 2 for 17, and an innings of 37 not out, it goes to Kushal Bertel. So Kushal will firstly receive his cheque, his trophy from Ramesh Sapkota, the executive vice president of Dish Home. And then they're also going to receive a cheque now for 10,000 rupees. That'll be presented by Mr. Dipesh Malla. It's the Valley Express player of the match, and they're going to receive a 10,000 rupees cheque as well. Give them a round of applause. Player of the match today, the Valley Express player of the match, it's Kushal Bertel. Kushal, come in and have a quick chat to me. You were trying to run away. Many congratulations. That was an innings. Let's start with your batting. Maybe not one that you'd usually play. You took your time. You were happy to spend some time in the middle.
Thank you so much, first of all. Asif went really well in the power play, so that's why the wicket is not also so good today. The spinners bowled really well. The wicket is, for spinner, is double pace, so I bat through the innings.
In terms of that opening partnership with Asif Sheikh, it's something that continues to be very important for you at the top. And then when you lost those 3 wickets, you had to change your game a little bit.
Yeah, we had a great start with Asif, but in the 5th over, we lost 2 wickets with Rohit, and in the last power play, Gulshan. Then Sandeep comes in. He makes me easy. He plays with aggressive shots, and later on Deep comes in and he makes easy and a good chase.
How much are you looking forward to the months ahead? You've got a ACC Premier Cup in Oman and then a T20 World Cup. It must be the stuff of dreams for you and for every Nepali cricketer.
Yeah, really excited for the tournament. We are working really hard from this game, and we are going to India in next week. So the preparation for the Asia Cup is from today. So we are looking forward to it.
Okay, before you go, leg spin bowling. You're turning into an all-rounder. You went nice and slow through the air, picked up 2 wickets. You're happy with how they came out?
Happy, but to be honest, most of the ball are not in the areas today. But happy to got those 2 wickets. So really happy.
Kushal, you're the Valley Express player of the match. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, that's going to wrap it up from the post-match presentation. The good news, we've got more action. It's tomorrow, the same time, 1 o'clock. We'd love to see a big crowd. You can get those tickets in advance on IME Pay, or you can join me and all the team live on Action Sports HD. You can download that Dish Home Go app too. Thanks so much for watching us today. We'll see you tomorrow.